Stay connected through The Link each morning on Breeze 93.9 FM.
Rosinha uli die sombren zelten maak et zu te saluda antes di niga Radzaudzan malakes frezas Duretin todo in memu A nogi distancia Como kupugi palu Zangiman malak Guafi Ikonum nasugi airi Preba tu la noci Nai banderata Kaigi, pues atan fani bandera, kau esta pagua pumalapa, giluk tanu man libri, tentami ti man ko badi.
Fanogi chamoru puritanota kantai matunonya gitoru iluga Paraiona Parai gloria abiba isla senpada Paraiona, Parai gloria, abiba isla senpada. Toru itempu ipas, paraita, zanginilangina bendition. Contra biligu nafan sofuam Jus bruteis langom Contra biligu nafan sofuam Jus bruteis langom
From me to you and you to me. Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning.
Good morning, random guy passed out on the couch. Welcome back, the one and only Jason Solis. Good morning, Jason.
Hello.
Right on. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Man, and thank you, Mama. But look what I found. As I understand it, we all got one, right?
Yep, you got the good
Dude,
stuff.
This is industrial
Yeah, it is.
level. I'm actually surprised my vocal cords work, to be completely honest with you. I have not spoken that much in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, get ready, guys. You're in for a Jason treat today.
The show just got a whole lot weirder.
I woke up this morning and was like, I'm probably going to have to do like 90% less talking just because Jason's coming back.
Thank you to Debbie Davis from, wait, did you guys talk about this already?
Go ahead. Yeah, of course we did.
Oh, you did? Okay, Joe Sir said he tried. Joe Sir, how is this? Sweeter or tangier or like? Sweet and tangy. Sweet and tangy. Okay. And you guys know me. I go traditional American fare, which means that I'm gonna put this on tater tots and fish sticks.
Oh wow, maybe a little dipping sauce for your hot pockets.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I have something new, you guys.
Oh what?
Bam.
Looks good.
Wow.
Thank you. The pause there,
Those
the
are your new-
hesitation, kind of scared me there.
These
for a
are
second.
Jason's new glasses, guys. His description glasses.
My first glasses, because I went to go see the doctor during my little break there, and the doctor said, "Oh, Mr. Jason, you need corrective glasses for your distance vision." I was like, "Okay," and for up close. I was like, "Oh boy."
That covers everything.
Yeah. So I had to learn a whole bunch of terms that I didn't know, and yeah.
Wow. And now you're fogging up.
I know. I was asking Joe, sir, how do you get,
You got to get the Rain-X. Don't go get the Leaf. You know the one up by the beach that you use for your snorkel?
I know, either that or don't breathe. But
I'll bring you some.
This is going to be.
Yeah, don't not breathe, Jay.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, keep breathing.
I missed you guys, man.
We missed you too.
Apparently
Thank
the
you,
feeling
babe.
is not mutual. And I missed you guys, Link fam. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for tagging me already. I saw Debbie was putting a
Right, yeah. No, we miss Jason. You know, Jason brings a certain energy to the show.
And snacks.
And snacks. And he also prints out our guest list.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Evidently, I'm the only one that knows how to use the printer around here.
We're the only one who knows how to use, like, the color printer. I print it out in black and white.
Yeah. Yeah, so I every day I go there and I go to the printer and Chris sets up like the rundown and I actually change the color of the guest to let us know who's going to be on. So, changing the text color in Microsoft Word is my job. I knew getting my master's degree would pay off someday.
Hey, I want to thank you guys for jamming with us on this June 1st. It's the first of the month.
And can I just say, okay, even though June is upon us right now, May's over. What I learned, you guys, and it's so fitting how we had Dr. Christiana Whitman on from Jibwick before. She was talking about the whole self-care thing, and I got to admit, I was one of those guys that I just thought, why? Because I'm an idiot. That self-care was, okay, you go get your nails done, you get your hair fixed, you go get a massage maybe and everything like that. Self-care really, really works. So, but not just during May and everything, but please, everybody, take a few moments, maybe a day if you can. Try and relax, because it really does help.
Cut your toenails. like
I feel like $1 million. I'm really rearing to get back in the fight.
All right. We missed you, man. What did you do while you were on leave?
I did a lot of creative projects. I read 4 books. I wrote a lot of code. I took naps, which was enjoyable. Naps were fun.
Yeah.
And just, like exercise and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, I completely stayed up north. I was just all by myself. And like I said, like the first 5 days, except for please and thank you to the people like I got food from and everything like that, I didn't say a word to anybody. I can count on 2 hands the number of words I actually articulated in the first
Wow. So
5
you were
days.
saving it up for this morning, obviously.
Yeah,
right?
I needed that. So
Well, good for
but
you.
it's good to be back with you guys, man. Can't
Did
wait.
Jay? So I mean, you didn't take leave for the whole pandemic. So when you got that time off, what was it? What was it like?
What was it? It was actually weird to sit around for more than 15 minutes at a time, like without a mask, just at home and everything like that. But I mean, it was very, very peaceful. it was a lot of fun. I got to do a lot of things creatively that I haven't been able to do for a year, and some stuff that got pushed on the back burner. I did a lot of reading, obviously. Like I looked.
But did you have a moment where you're like, oh God?
Oh, did it finally sink
Yeah.
in? Yeah, there was one of those. And,
Right.
It
Did you have a good cry, my friend? Just be honest. It's cool. We're all friends here.
Not cry, but I was like, wow, there was that, again, Dr. Whitman said, that
Yeah.
you do have to introspect and have some reflection and everything. I definitely did that,
Right on.
but it actually makes me appreciate, you guys, the show, everybody all over the world that watches and interacts with us and everything like that, so much more.
Did your leave go by fast?
Not really.
Yeah.
It actually really feels like a while since I've been here, and I was asking Joe Sir when I came into, because we set up and do all the technical stuff. I was like, Joe, am I even doing this right? I had to remember our whole sequence and everything. So,
Well,
but
Ken,
also thank you for Joe Sir for
Yeah.
having my back and everything, because I know
Joe and Ken Sanity at Ken Sanity,
and
by the
Joe
way,
and Ken.
did a great job while you were gone, bro. Hard shoes to fill. Jason Solis is right.
Big
He's size,
shoes.
he's like size 12 or something, right?
Yeah, well,
Right. Yeah.
like they said in the Disney cartoon, they're like, are they shovels or are they feet?
At 6:28, the show. This is the link, by the way. Good morning. We're going on KUAM TV later on at 8 o'clock. But just want to shout out to our friends at Pacific Points. Also, Jack in the Box, Calvo Enterprises, East West Rental. Thank you for jumping on and renewing East West Rental. We really appreciate it. We really want to kind of go over there and check it out. And, okay, honestly, Bree, I want to go on that bucket thing.
Me too.
I want to get a bucket. I say let's rent the bucket. Then we'll go to my Uncle Raymond's. My Uncle Raymond has this avocado tree. But, all the low-hanging to mid avocados, I can get those. There's some really good ones way up high. And, your boy, not as skinny as I used to be, so getting up there in the tree sometimes it's a little bit risky.
Can you hear the tree crying the further up?
You hear the tree you're not as light as you used to be.
Okay.
So what do you think? Let's go do that sometime, guys.
Yeah. Did you ever used to climb that tree down, the old tree down at Academy? Remember the one that fell over? The tree?
No, I went to public school.
No, but I
didn't
mean,
go
you pass by Cathedral or,
Yeah.
you go to
We weren't
Skip it.
allowed down there at the interchange.
No, but remember, the one thing I remember about, remember that really huge tree that fell over and I
Okay.
think it was Karen or something?
Yeah.
Massive tree, but it always had that one part where you couldn't go by because there was that next gen level the beehive
Beehive,
over there. It's
right.
okay, don't
Yeah.
disturb that beehive because those things are mean.
Here's what's coming up on the show.
Is there
okay,
any truth
dude.
to the rumor that the higher up on a tree you get, the better the avocados are?
Yeah, because they're getting more sun.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I think that is the genesis of that term low-hanging fruit. The higher up on the tree, the better the fruit.
Yeah. Because it's getting more sun, like I
Yeah.
said. Like the avocados way up in the top, guys. Fat. Joe, fat, boy. Ooh, we can make a lot of avocado. What is it you guys like to make? The milkshake, right? Yeah.
Oh, can
I just never got into it. I'm sorry, sir.
Can I
Right.
also tell you guys, I don't really
I don't
listen.
know what it is about Philippines and the sweet, right?
Do you like the bubbly shakes?
The
The big tapioca balls and
Dude, not really. I don't like anything with balls.
you like halo halo?
Except Ginnaton.
Yes.
Ginnaton,
What about halo
freaking,
halo?
I'll mess up some Ginnaton.
You don't like halo halo? Halo halo is great.
Uh,
I have one more thing to say, and Bree would probably know this better than any of us.
Bree, do you like Holo Holo? Inquiring minds want to know.
A little.
No, I took some. I took some.
Depends on what's in it.
I took some time during my.
Black beans?
No,
Why
I
they put-
can't eat it with the beans.
Yeah.
I took some time, Bree, during my vacation to catch up on contemporary music because okay, obviously, we live for old school here, and 93.9 The Breeze FM. We celebrate classic music, but I was listening to kind of some of the more trending recent music these days. That Olivia Rodrigo song, "Good for You," now lives in my head rent free.
Which one is that?
Like a damn sociopath.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
I only
that
know the one
song
about-
is crazy, and once you hear it, it's like the only thing I can remember is Chris. You would probably realize this, right? Remember in Star Wars or Star Trek Part 2, when the ear went into the worm went into dude's
I'm just
ear.
gonna go home, guys. I want to go.
No,
home.
that song is so infectious. It gets in your head and you cannot get it out. It's a slamming song.
I feel like I'm not needed today.
This is 1 week of not talking.
Yeah, no, this is
Yeah.
2 weeks of not talking, and it's not even done yet.
God help you guys. Oh, we're just getting started now.
Yeah, I know.
We're still in second gear. No, Bree,
Oh.
do you know what I'm talking about? Good for You, that Olivia Rodrigo song.
Sorry, I don't.
She was on SNL last week, and she performed that, and it was. I mean, it's a great song. She's very, very talented.
She's a Disney star,
Yeah, she's in High School Musical, like the musical.
and she had that song. I think it's like Driver's License.
Yeah,
right. Is
I
her
think
big one.
That's really
Yeah,
what broke
yeah.
her, and then she's like chummy with.
But I'm
Taylor
always
Swift.
skeptical when these Disney stars come out. It's like, are you really the one doing it, or do you have like a whole army of songwriters and choreographers and stylists?
They probably all say that,
Yeah,
and then they get their paycheck, and they're like, oh, okay, I can deal with that.
right on.
And of course, in the time it's taken us to talk about how much Miss Rodrigo maybe makes, she's made our collective salaries times 3.
Yeah, every time that song plays.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the Pride Month, guys.
Yes.
Our friend Glenn Lujan. Good morning, Glenn.
Happy Pride, Glenn.
Okay,
Happy Pride, everyone.
we're doing this great thing with the KUAM Podcast Network, and I just want to thank Glenn and Josh for jumping on board. I don't want to give too much, reveal too much, but it is the first day of Pride Month. There's a bunch of stuff going on this morning, Bree.
There is a proclamation signing today.
Right. So yeah, that's going on.
And then through the month of June, we're also doing profiles of
course,
Pride
right.
on our social media platforms.
Right on. There you go. So yeah, we're celebrating Pride Month. It's June already. What the heck? Guys, it's June already.
Technically, the year is
It's June already.
the year is half over, right? Or
Holy Mac. I need to sip my coffee for that. It's June already.
how high did the car score get when I was gone?
I don't even pay attention.
I saw it was like
I'm in the
0.2.
media. I don't even see it. I roll my eyes when people say car score is 0. No offense, anybody in here who says it.
We're still on a public health emergency that was extended.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you surprised?
Were you surprised that the CDC upgraded us to level 4? Do
Yeah.
not
No,
travel to
that's the day
Guam?
before I left. I mean, we
Yeah.
were talking
That's
about that,
right.
and we were like, whoa. And remember, I was thinking, I was like, man, if you like direct your ears over towards Tumon Bay, would you hear Uncle Carl and Jerry be like, oh damn?
Yeah, we had them on. They weren't too happy about it. But
They would do the Olivia Rodrigo thing. It's like, oh, the CDC is upgrading.
But I
Guam's
mean, if you
risk
think
and-
about it,
look at
though-
them, sociopath.
But if you think about it, I don't even know if our source markets really pay attention to the CDC because they're not like CDC is American. It's American, but Korea, Japan. I don't know if they're like American CDC. They probably have their own travel advisories, right? That they check.
But Isaiah had a really good story last night on the news. I saw about like a CBS News crew that came out
Oh, yeah,
here
yeah.
to get the Airbnb. So
Right.
Well, it's not really Airbnb. They just came out here. The Airbnb hasn't officially launched for another probably 2 to 4 weeks. At least that's what the governor is hoping. She
also,
met
they
with
kind of like just tied it in and said this is what the experience will be like, even though it's not.
They
well, no,
just
they
came
came
out.
here to
Yeah.
get vaccinated.
Yeah.
You know, the Olympics is still scheduled for this year, I believe.
This year?
And they're in, isn't it this year?
Yeah, you
Oh.
know,
Yeah,
so
and
what's
so they're in
crazy is
Japan,
the
so-
Tokyo Summer Games are going to be held this year, and then next year is 2022, obviously, and that's going to be in North Korea is going to be the Winter Games.
But they've been wanting to get vaccinated, and so Lucy Kraft, I believe, she's the reporter. She could have flown to Texas, where her son is, I believe, but she decided, well, this is closer, so her and the producer and the photographer Randy flew out to Guam, and Randy actually was on Guam, as you heard from the former governor, during the Korean air crash, and so
Right.
that's how they had met.
Yeah.
And they said they've been waiting months. They're a CBS News crew, but they're based out of Tokyo, right?
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
I mean, they're probably chomping at the bit to get.
So what is
vaccinated.
Japan's like vaccination status?
I'm not sure, but I think they wanted to get the U.S.
Oh, they
vaccine.
wanted
They're
the
from-
American one.
Well,
right.
yeah, they're American.
However, a very impressive number yesterday. We were just talking about this before we went on. Is Palau 97% adult population is vaccinated.
Didn't they also get their first positive? Over
They
the
did.
weekend?
It was a traveler that
And
was
a
on a
flight
flight
came
from
through
Guam.
here.
But see, the thing was that the person was, I believe, fully vaccinated, had COVID earlier this year,
Oh,
and so
could have been crumbs.
Right, exactly, and
yeah.
that was the theory behind it, and that's why they describe it as a historical case. So the chances of it being infectious was very, very unlikely.
Can we
So
tell
what do
people
they
the
do?
backstory too?
What they do with that person?
The person has been isolated.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so there goes their vacation.
Well, the person had been there since May 9th, had
Oh.
tested negative before leaving, was vaccinated, went there and tested negative like 3 times in the different types of PCR,
Right.
serological, antigen, and then tested positive on the 21st day. And I think they were mentioning it was a bunch of psychological, scientific details.
Mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, this may have caught them like maybe, but like by surprise, because now you can say you have an official COVID case. But by all accounts, they handled it incredibly professionally. You know, everything was like by the numbers, and they really took care of it.
Something else that happened last week was Saipan is now open to residents from Guam who are fully vaccinated, right?
Right. Yeah, I was still waiting for clarification from Kevin though, because I wanted to know, well, is that $400 fee still applicable? But I'm still waiting to hear back from him.
Can we
Okay.
tell people?
I mean,
like,
that to me is like, do I gotta pay?
can we tell people
$400?
real quick? Breathe the
The
side story.
entrance fee?
The side story about the Palauan
Door.
case yesterday.
Cover charge.
The what?
Okay, so the side story, right? The BTS, the behind the scenes, as we say in the biz, right? So Sabrina and I were here yesterday, like we're working on the news thing, even though it was a holiday, right? All of a sudden, she comes like, she blows up our WhatsApp chat, and she comes screaming down the halls of the newsroom, guys, trying to confirm, Palau may have a positive COVID case. It came from like Guam, and our photographer of, I mean, the guys shot more stuff than entire companies. Carlito Rozansky, who is native Palauan, and he goes, yeah, like I'm watching it right now. So she goes, Carl, can you send me the press conference? I need to like take a look at this because I want to get this on the news, right? He sent her the link for the Facebook Live. She went there. She's like, the press conference is in Palauan, and unfortunately Sabrina is not fluent in Palauan.
Ole ole.
Yeah.
There were parts where they did speak English.
Yeah, but Dr. Thane Hancock, who's who's a physician on Guam, was there, and he like said a bunch of stuff. So we used those sound bites.
he's in in Pohnpei, so
Wait,
Dr. Thane.
Dr. Thane.
Dr. Hancock is part of the Physicians Advisory Group on Guam, is he not?
Right.
Yeah.
Or surgeon cell or
Yeah.
one of those groups.
Yeah.
But he's helping in the FSM
Yeah.
because
Right.
they have their repatriation flights
Yeah.
and they're beefing up and training people over in
For
the
monitoring and also I think for vaccination.
Mhm.
Right? Yeah.
Mhm. But when I was off, I had time to kind of like meander and go around like during the day. Like
Oh,
I
you
said,
did some meandering?
Yeah, I mean I just drove around. And
Other
everything like
people stroll, Jason meanders.
that. But it really seemed like our people are continuing to do what we have to. I saw everybody all over the place still wearing masks for the most part, staying 6 feet apart. I'm assuming the people that kind of like bunched up and everything like that, they were from the same household, but whether it was people outside getting some exercise or going somewhere to get something to eat or running an errand or going into a store. I mean, I had to go into the mall to go get my eyes checked and everything like that.
Yeah.
And they have their procedures down pat.
Are those Oakleys?
They are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Jason got new glasses, everybody, in case you're wondering what's different about him. Looking good, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Um,
And you look really, really good too, because my eyes are. Yeah, I mean, you figure I'd spend the last 27 years of my life behind a computer.
you better get
screen
your
writing
glasses checked, bro, because if I look really good, then they probably gave you the wrong pair. Hey, it's
code. All three of
6:40.
you guys look good.
As much as I would love to just listen to you ramble forever about meandering, and
You have a lovely forehead this morning.
thank. It's 6:40. It's time to-
Your cowlick is also. not
Let's
standing
get to
up.
work in here, guys. Clock in. You clocked in, Jay?
We are.
Okay, let's
We
go.
got a good show today.
We do. We do. Who's coming up on the show, Jay?
Okay. We have. Let me see.
Since you want to talk, I'm just going to let you say everything.
Okay. Well, this seems vaguely familiar, so let me even see if I can remember how to do this. Okay, my new glasses are allowing me to read the rundown. So coming up at 7 a.m., right at the top of the hour, we have Senator Chris Duenas, the minority leader. He's going to get us up to speed on some of the stuff that is going on, assumedly with the Republican Party, and then his fellow member of the GOP, Senator Tello Taitigui, is coming up 15 minutes later. So 7:15, we get the good senator joining us. 7:30, it's that time of the week when we check in with the Mayor's Council. And of course, we'll be bringing in Mayor Jesse Allig from PD. And then we're going to a neck of the woods where, Chris, you know very, very well, Jotnya. So we got Mayor Bill Kenya.
Yep.
He's coming in.
He's going to come in and give an update on Jotnya. So if you guys are from Jotnya or you're just curious, make sure you listen. Also, Senator Tello is going to come on tomorrow.
Oh, she is? Okay.
My bad, yeah.
Okay, so let's red pen through that. All right. Workweek weather forecast is coming up, and I know Landon probably had a interesting last few days because there is a weather formation. I believe the status now is it's a tropical storm that was passing through Karor, speaking of Palau. Does not pose a threat to us, but Landon's going to tell us like everything that's happening in the region. Uncle John Benevente from the Guam Power Authority, so we're going to be talking utilities at 8:30.
We're not just going to be talking utilities, Jay. The disconnections start today.
Oh.
Right.
So today's a big day.
Today's
yeah, that's right, June 1st.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been out of the loop for a couple weeks. We go back to the legislature at 8:45, where Senator Sabina Perez, who I want to say unofficially is probably the senator outside of Speaker Therese Torla who's made the most appearances this year on the link. We'll have to run the numbers and see that. Then we're taking you down south at 9 a.m., where Liza Castro and Angela Anderson are going to tell us about Inarahan Middle School's new mural that's down there.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do an interview for you guys at 9:15 where a friend of ours, Aubrey Yangert Mariano, she did a wonderful exhibit out in Honolulu. They presented the Daughters of Micronesia exhibit, and she's a ceramic sculptor and everything, so we're going to talk to her about what it meant to capture our culture and exhibit it on a larger stage and with all the other Pacific cultures.
Right. And then you're also going to do that conservation conference interview.
Which one's that?
The Joni Kerr is coming on with
I am. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. Okay, 9:45. So I've got about two and a half hours to prep for that.
You guys got a Jason special starting at 9:15.
Thanks for the heads up too.
Right. Hey, you got it, man.
Okay, and then so that's Joni Kerr with GCC. They're Eco Warriors. She's going to be joining us, and then Bernie. Oh no, that's an old one, right? Bernie Guinness. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently, I don't know where it is.
Also, guys, we're doing a new segment today on Tuesdays. It's called Talking Shop Tuesday.
This is new. I walked in here and I was like, man, we got some canned. What is this all about?
We just wanted to put a 6-pack in the studio for you because we're coming back. Okay,
so we've got here on the Josar cam, we have some Armor products. Right? I'm looking at some chili with beans. Oh man, I could go for some beef stew right now.
Some treat. Yeah, so basically what we're doing with our partners for Talking Shop Tuesday, who bring in all these fine products and many, many more, is every week Sabrina and I are going to cook up something at the house, and then we're going to tell you all about it here on the link on Tuesdays. So that's coming up.
Okay, and if you know if Bree made it and everything like that,
Bree, you just had to go hard.
There had to be some sort of baking angle.
Yeah. So let me just tell you what we're going to be showing you guys this morning, and then we'll just get to it later on. Sabrina made apple cranberry treats. She used some of that treat luncheon meat, and she did apple cranberry turnovers.
Apple cranberry turnovers with. So I want to say.
I call it apple cranberry treats.
Right. Yeah. So but it's treat with an EET, Jay.
Yeah.
So they're probably really, really tart, right? Because you get that like.
It's sweet and savory.
That delightful sting of the cranberries.
Bree brought it.
My son loved it.
I have to go sit down with mine. I just made a treat food pancake.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you again.
Freaking really good.
We want to tell people behind the story, right? I called Bree on like Sunday. I was like, hey, want to go stroll? I'll pick you up like at the house, and she's like, all right, I need to go by the store and buy these ingredients for this recipe I'm gonna make. I had no idea you went this big. You just said take me to Payless because I got to buy some stuff, but I was apple cranberry turnovers.
Treat
turnovers. Wow. And I'm sure that when we play Chris's story, I haven't seen it yet, so like I'm not ruining a surprise for myself. I'm sure it's really, really good. I'm sure it's very creative. I'm sure you were very methodical.
No, I wasn't, man.
And I'm sure you're on camera a lot of the time.
I actually was not. And I was watching it this morning. I was like, did I really shoot that video with my tank top on?
He did.
Tank top?
I wasn't even. It was a weird long weekend.
You know, when Glenn has joined us on the show, he's been in his tank top.
It's hard to shoot video of yourself cooking.
I know. There was a lot of stuff I had to edit out. Like I couldn't find my spatula. And I was trying to flip the
I saw that.
Yeah, I was
And
like, man.
Bree took off
you gotta
yesterday
see the
before the
outtakes.
news, and she's like, guys, I got to go make my segment. But she came out of here walking. So basically, she's got her purse slung over one shoulder. The other hand, she's got like her laptop all folded.
Yeah.
She's got a ring light. She's
2
got
cans
a
of treat on her
stick.
head.
Good things tend to happen when Bree carries that much
Jay, you
like,
know what
production
though?
gear.
I don't think it should just be Bree and I doing this whole thing. I think that we need to get you involved.
You know I can't.
Right? I know. That's what's going to be fun about it.
I'll give it a shot. Joe
Yep.
Sir and I will collab on
So
something.
I just want to thank our friends at Pacific Grocers for bringing us this Talking Shop Tuesday. It's a great opportunity, guys. They have they bring in a lot of cool products.
This is cool. No, look at that cutting board too.
Oh, is that ours? We got a cutting board?
It's nice. Wait,
Uh,
is that yours from the house, Bree? Or
No.
the board? Oh.
That might be Stasha's. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Right on. So they bring in Armor Luncheon Meat Treat. They also bring in the Palm corned beef, so we're going to be doing something with that. I'm going to start getting my recipes ready. And then we're also going to be cooking up some stuff with the Samyang Aloha Bowl. Yeah, which is
Really?
just like it's a bowl. It's an instant bowl noodle thing, but I'm guessing we're supposed to kick it up a notch. Look out, guys.
Noodle bowls. All
You
right.
have been warmed. You could do that. I think even you could do that right.
I could probably not. I could not screw up like a
Right.
noodle bowl. I wouldn't bet on it, but
He's just-
Isn't it
Add
called
water.
Bree? How do you heat water?
yeah.
What if I burn it?
How long do I boil?
It's like Bree. You know this thing about toast?
Hey, good morning to our Facebook Live audience. Glenn Lujan comments in, sounds delicious, Sabrina. How Betty Crocker Barbie of you.
Eee.
And then he writes, nothing wrong with a tank top, Chris. Hey.
Ooh.
Wait. Okay. So what kind of tank top did you?
Well,
have?
you
Did
can't even say it anymore.
Did you just have like the one you wear?
No, I had what they used to call the wife beater, which is the white under.
Yeah, you can't say that.
But you
anymore.
cannot say that. Isn't it crazy that we used to say that?
Let's call it the inside shirt. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I don't know who started it. I think it was Eminem who started.
I call it
calling
a chest flattener.
Yeah. Okay, so basically you had the old school inside shirt, right? You
Yeah,
did
yeah,
not
yeah,
have
yeah.
like the super thin like Gold's Gym one, right?
I didn't have the spaghetti strap.
Yeah.
one. I saved that for nighttime. Yeah, Facebook Live, good morning. We have
Okay, can I ask something about you?
Okay,
though?
yeah, Jay, ask something. Go ahead.
When you
Oh, my God.
When you wear a tank top,
Yeah.
how much side boob is involved?
Wow.
It depends
let's
on
do
what
the
cut.
news, and you guys can continue this nonsense.
No,
afterwards.
let him get it out of his system, Bree. He's gonna be popping in the news. Yeah, Bree, that was cool, but can I ask you something?
No, I don't interrupt the news.
Well,
That's-
Jay, for the lower cut tank tops that go down,
Yeah.
that you would have more of the side boob showing. But if you get a one that's higher up, so let's say you have a problem with the side boob, you want to pick a tank top that like is closer to the faff, closer to your faff.
so on behalf of all men, you're
Right.
recommending like lift and
Yeah,
top.
lift it up, bro.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, good morning,
I'm
Rob.
back, baby.
Our friend Rob Wolford from Alaska right now. Good morning, guys.
Rob.
Good
Hey,
morning,
Rob.
Rob. Mama Bear Debbie Davis wishing a sweet and happy Pride Month out there.
Yes.
Chamarita Regis writes, good morning. Welcome back, Jason. Very nice entrance.
Thank you. Thank you, Chamarita. I missed you guys, man.
Thank you, guys. Vivian Decimito, good morning, KUAM News Group and everyone watching. Welcome back to Jason Solis. Maria Pareto, buenas and off a day, everyone. Maggie Anderson, welcome back, Jason. We missed you, even if they didn't. Ha 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 ha.
Ooh. Thanks, Maggie.
Rosemary LaGuardia writes, welcome
well,
back.
Chris wasn't exactly blowing up my phone, just being like, "Hey, how you doing?"
I was trying to give you your space.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ina Lee, good morning, Miss Ina. Good morning, Chris, Sabrina, Jason.
I keep in touch with him, so it's not like I didn't miss.
Okay, I'm not
I
gonna
know.
say what two names Bree was calling me. Like she basically doesn't use my God-given name anymore.
Yeah,
Let's just say it's a very common name.
yeah, let's just say Queen Bee. Maria Bunoan, good morning, half a day, everyone. Stay safe. God bless. Let's go ahead and get into the news
Oh, you
now.
know what's interesting?
Yes, Jay, what's interesting? Oh, my God.
West Side Story's coming out by Steven Spielberg, and thank you Maria for that comment. I did just meet a girl named Maria. Speaking of West
Did
Side
you
Story.
talk to anybody when you were on the
I did not. I have been jonesing for social interaction. I didn't even do social
I
media.
talked to you,
I was
but I'm
quiet.
nobody.
You're
It's all
nobody,
right.
I guess, Bree. I should have reached out to the guy.
We are nobody called today. Apparently not. Remember that song? Well, that's Juice Newton, right? No. Sorry. Okay.
Let me have the wipes, please.
Yeah, okay.
Can we just
you know what?
wipe
I
this
missed
show?
these wipes
Wipe
too.
this show away. Let's start over.
Okay, these man, you can live. Okay, wait. Can we please do this before we start the news? Because I have really missed you guys.
Oh, Lord. You're right. You know what? Screw it. Let's just own it.
Wipes up.
All
Wipes
right.
up. Wipes up.
Yeah.
Make it rain.
Take care of your family, everybody.
Thank you, Jay, for bringing back the eucalyptus wipes.
Yes.
Oh, dude. Just get it out of your system because I don't want Sabrina to get interrupted.
I think I'm good. I think I'm good for the next 5 minutes.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Any other musicals coming out? Did you watch The Greatest Showman?
What did you want on Netflix?
Yeah, is there anything else?
Oh, there is an
I
X-Men.
knew there
There
was
is an
something
X-Men documentary which you would really like.
Oh, yeah?
It's the X-Men, the Chris Claremont years.
Okay.
On Amazon. No, you would really
Oh, it's on
like.
Amazon? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
for
check
those
it
of you who like X-Men, Chris Claremont was like the writer in the classic era, and just check it out. It's awesome.
Okay, is there anything else?
I'm good.
Okay. It's 6:51. Ladies and gentlemen, guess who's back?
I'm gonna go prep for my 9:45 interview, which apparently I'm doing.
Jason Solis is back. It's Tuesday, the 1st day of June, year of our Lord 2021. Thank you for joining us on the link. Now with the very latest from the KUAM News team. Good morning, Sabrina Solis Matanani.
Half a day, everybody. We begin with an update on that Dewitt warehouse fire in Harmon from several weeks ago. Company President Corrine Birking says they have been informed that the investigation has been completed and the official cause of the fire was undetermined. The company thanked all those who helped, including GFD, ATF, and the U.S. Naval Response Team, as well as neighbors in the Harmon Industrial Park. Due to the quick actions from GFD and their fire protection wall, the rest of their warehouse was spared and no other structures were damaged. Birking adds DeWitt continues to be 100% focused on working with their accounts who suffered a loss in the tragedy and would like to thank them for their patience and understanding. With more news, here is Isaiah Uggan.
Hafide, good morning, everyone. Guahusi Isaiah Uggan with your headlines here on The Link. Struggling families and businesses will have to wait at least almost 2 months before they'll see a penny from the President's American Rescue Plan funds. Sabrina Salas Matanani reports.
More than $600 million delivered to Guam, just waiting to be released into the people's pocketbooks. Governor Lilian Guerrero holds the purse strings.
I want to make sure when we do announce it and we do provide our investment plan that it's something that is good information.
It was on May 11th, the U.S. Treasury issued its interim final rule on how to spend Arpa funds. Although the provisions in the interim final rule were effective May 17th, the Treasury is accepting public comments until July 16th.
We are reading the guidance. I've read the guidance. I'm hoping it's not going to be a lot of big changes. I don't think so, but there were questions that were raised by other governors, and so I think they're trying to address that.
The governor has not yet submitted a proposal on how she plans to spend the money, but recently announced the expansion of the RISE Act to the All Rise Act, which now includes GovGuam employees and retirees to receive assistance. The original program capped funding at $30 million, but even with their expansion to include all eligible taxpayers, the governor doesn't plan to increase funding, but keep it at the current level.
I'm following the law, sure. The expansion of the law is just to include the retirees and the government employees. I followed the law as it's mandated, which is 40,000 and 80,000 income level eligibility. So, and it's an application process. I want the people to know it's not an automatic process. They do have to apply. And so that's all stated in the mandate.
The Guam Legislature will hold a public hearing on their spending plan for American Rescue Plan funds, or Resolution 93. More than $600 million has been given to Guam for spending at the governor's discretion. Instead of waiting for the island's chief executive to present her plan, lawmakers submitted their priorities for the expenditures of the funds. Speaker Therese Terlahi says they want to give the people the opportunity to provide their input and suggestions.
We'll take everything that they give us. It will be permanized in a record, available for all senators, available for the agencies that are actually implementing these plans, and available for the governor for consideration in her plan. And whenever we get her plan, I'm sure that all plans can be made even better with more input. So for me, the more, the better. And so that's the goal.
The governor has not presented an official spending plan, but has already indicated she plans to provide $300 million for a new medical facility. The public hearing on Resolution 93 is this Friday at 11 a.m. Residents can either attend in person at the legislature or online. The president's fiscal year 2022 budget contains key provisions that bring parity to territories like Guam. The Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration lauds the Biden budget for its proposals to eliminate the Medicaid funding cap for territories and aligns matching rates with those for states. The budget plan also moves toward parity in the other critical programs such as Supplemental Security Income or SSI. The president's fiscal year 2022 budget comes with a $6 trillion price tag. The Department of Defense also rolled out its fiscal year 2022 budget over the weekend. The budget prioritizes the threat from China and provides funding to begin plans for Indo-PACOM's Pacific Deterrence Initiative. According to the fiscal year 2022 budget, DoD plans to invest over $66 billion in the Indo-Pacific region. A part of the spending plan includes funding to the Missile Defense Agency for the defense of Guam. Missile Defense Agency Director, Navy Vice Admiral John Hill.
The Guam capability and what's sort of the timeline? It looks like you're investing $100 million in that, but if you could give a little bit more detail on what the architecture may be looking like, or how you're going to for this or something.
Yeah, well, we're not really positioned to do that yet. So you referred a little bit to what's in the Indo-PACOM Pacific Defense Initiative. So there's that and the request from Indo-PACOM. But right now we're in the middle of doing that architecture analysis with the CAPE and with the Joint Staff and others to make sure that we have the options on the table so that we can make use of the resources that we have to give the best defense possible for Guam. And so we're working through that now. And part of that, the real focus on those dollars in the 22 budget are to do things like spectrum analysis in the area, because we know we need the sensing capability. We know that we have varying topology there across the island. So how would you place those sensors? Where would the fire control systems go? Where would the weapons go? So there's work there, and there's likely some long lead material items that we would want to procure. But we're keeping that option space open now within the department until we come through all of those trades.
The PDI calls for an Agus Ashore system to be positioned on island, which provides a 360-degree shield of defense against threats from China. While discussions are ongoing about the Airbnb program, a crew from CBS News in Japan flew into Guam to join the vaccination. It's been a long time coming for this CBS News crew.
Yeah, we've been trying to get vaccinated for months. This is something has been long sought.
Fresh up out of 6 days in quarantine, it was straight to the Yoji Cowboy Fieldhouse to get vaccinated.
I feel a little bit off, but nothing tragic. It's okay.
Tokyo correspondent Lucy Kraft and her colleagues flew in just to receive the one-and-done Johnson & Johnson vaccine administered by Governor Leon Guerrero on Saturday. As opposed to flying to the mainland, Kraft says was their best shot at getting immunized against COVID.
I was thinking about going to Texas, where my son is, and getting the two-shot Moderna or Pfizer. And it's a long trip, and there's more risk involved. And then the other members of my staff were thinking about, where can we go to get it all done at one fell swoop. And so that's how we eventually settled on Guam.
The decision for the CBS Tokyo Bureau team to get vaccinated here comes on the heels of the Guam Visitors Bureau's plan to implement its Airbnb program, which would allow American expats to travel here to join the vaccination. A meeting between GVB and the governor was held late last week.
I don't think it's going to impact Guam in any negative way. I think it's going to be positive for us. Positive in the sense that we would have a good, PR for those countries that those expats are. And again, it's our way and our culture of helping people.
The governor is hoping to see the Airbnb program implemented in the next 2 to 4 weeks. As for this crew from CBS, they're just glad to get the shot here where America's vaccination day begins.
You guys are pros. It was very, very well handled.
That's it for now. We'll see you tonight for KUAM News Primetime.
The Guam Power Authority announces past-due electric utility accounts island-wide for both GPA and GWA begins today. Help is available, and the GPA and GWA utilities offer flexible, affordable payment plan and options. From District Court, federal drug defendant Daryl J. Guerrero allegedly made more pay-tel phone calls that are suspected to be drug-related transactions. According to Assistant U.S. Attorney Laura Sambataro, about 9 more phone calls were made since May 24th that she plans to bring into evidence during Guerrero's sentencing hearing. Earlier last week, the government played back recordings of Guerrero phone conversations with his mom and others about plans to allegedly bring in contraband into the Hagåtña detention facility. Friday morning, the government asked for a continuance of his sentencing to allow for DEA Task Force Officer Henry James to review the new recordings and decode the language. Defense counsel Jay Areola objected. However, the court sided with the government. Guerrero's sentencing was continued to June 25th. He was arrested in January of last year for allegedly storing and distributing meth out of a Leo Palace resort hotel room. Guam residents who show their proof of vaccine can travel to the CNMI without being quarantined, and vice versa for CNMI residents. Guam Public Health and the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation signed a memorandum of agreement that provides for the reciprocal policy. Passengers from the CNMI arriving in Guam must present a valid photo ID and their official CNMI immunization record. Likewise, all passengers from Guam arriving in the CNMI must present a valid photo ID, complete an online health declaration form, and are encouraged to upload their lifetime Guam immunization record. The agreement will remain in effect until the expiration of the COVID public health emergency. And with your news in Chamorro, here is Kin Conception.
Buenos updates to get some to be kunut sa morgan ni KUAM News. Presenta ni Familian Mito gi First Hawaiian Bank. Aziz na presidente na fiscal year 2022 na budget sa Guahay Provincion no napareho siya reglamento ni teritoryo ni Estado gi Estados Unidos. I administrasyon Leong Guerrero Tenorio sa mafama adyo na budget ni presidente sa proposo na parumanaso di abstinensya ni salapi i Medicaid ni parumanaad sa salapi ni parumanauhuzong taygui Estado siya. Iplano na dyan na budget sa bansa mo na lokoy inadyan ipumalo siya na programa taygui Supplemental Security Income pad SSI. Gusto niya i-budget ni presidente pada 2022 na sakan sa 6 trillion pesos po todo. Imas, masyatsataan matsuseri Memorial Day service gisimentedyon veterano gisa PT gi agan Lunes. Isinangan ni Magahaga Luliang Guerrero binabanadyon na sa sedimento. Ilay nga Magahaga na hita responsable para taon ra iman matay siya nagagando exhibition militar. Ngalay nga na obligasyon ta na para ta assiste veterano siya. Dadyo na administrasyon niya sa continue at sumonikin na dalanto ni para ta setbi. Asangan na adil nebo na sibita ni para mahatsa sa para managwa sinangin na lugad para mafanmatrata sa para maproteas ti siya na tautawgi numasan na noong kantidana sakrifisyo. Maprotehe libitata dyan ni ginapsagata za pago taryata ni partana siguro na marisibi in nasisti dyan ni salud ni manisisita. Ang nagfakpo si Leong Guerrero kuntos niya ang na ay sendang kulo na agradecimento para todi manggaygi gisibisyon ni militar. Iba sa sunto, Guam Environmental Protection Agency sa para ma-review report siya para madetermina ko para ma-imbestiga yung similan niya na masusedi gipangin Domingo gi-skilled nursing facility. Itato Guam Fire Department sa man-respondo gato na lugar gisa barigada ane ma-report sumi gikasi las 10:30 gipangi. Ma-reglay simi gilas 12:30 gi-egaan Lunes. Sigoni Guam Memorial na sabitan masoda adyan na sumi gaji tangkin 50 galon gi emergency generator room. Estifinet na nabiyahe na guha sumi guihi sa may bisite gatay mano. Tawzat sinudan ginan na sa sedimento. Gima sa tikulo, Guam EPA sa manmanay notis ang kanranto DC, dos na kumpanya ni Matsotso giparewa na lugar construction, JT Development sa ni Primus Heavy Equipment, sa manmanay citation para kanranto DC ni Water Pollution Act sa ni Guam Water Quality Act. Inspector si Guam EPA sa mabisita sa construction gid sa Mangilaw. Asangan ni spokesman para GEPA si Nig Lee na aktibidad kinalamtin oda sa atso gibinedorsa sa timatsuli lisensya. Datazar praktika ni mas maulig na minaneha. Manmaod din para manaparet sa uniya lumabisita tati lugar dos biyahe ni GEPA sa masoda na madisatendi at zunay na din. Todi dos kompanya sa mafafanat porsentu mit siya na minita. Mananangga ko paragwa apelasyon gay na din niya GEPA. Yutumu, itempo ni para mas adelanto record siya gi Guam Veterans Affairs Office sa Tiaman Matu. Direktor VA gwini si Tim Agon asangan na nakonformin niya sa opisina ng Veterans Affairs giza Utah sa sempyo mafit magi Medculis. Na siya ti St. Clair Special siyagon. Asangan na uno na parafu giadso na kontrata sa nesesita marikla pero manat siguro na todi dos opisina kinubri. Nuriniport KUM News si Utah na opisina sa bumaluntaryo por maajuday guahan na opisina ng veterano ma-digitize sa dyan sistema ng minanehan record siha. Para Guam News Network, Guausikin Conception. Yasunto ifinut sa moro sa presenta sa ninafatto ni Familiang Mizo gi First Hawaiian Bank.
Make sure you're connected. The writing's on the wall. 'Cause if your mind's neglected, stumble you might fall.
Connection is a human necessity, one we need today more than ever. And with the new First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, you can stay just as connected to your finances. And it all starts with yes.
KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time each Friday to talk food, taste food, and bring you all the latest and greatest in food from King's Restaurants and Ruby Tuesday Guam, old faves, new hits, and everything on the menu in between. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link. Uno Go, delivering meals from your favorite restaurants and more, including delivering sodas and adult beverages from the Bottle Shack. Visit uno-go.com or download the app today. Also follow them on Instagram and Facebook.
After a year with so many games and events delayed or unplayed, the world is ready for anything and everything in the world of sports. KUAM Communications is ready with more games, more championships, and more specials that are guaranteed to bring out the fan in you. Don't miss a minute of gameplay from NBC on KUAM TV 8 or from CBS on KUAM TV 11. Every month, we'll bring you the action and excitement. Brought to you locally by Michelob Ultra, Superior Light Beer, Marianas Irrigation and Landscape, and Docomo Pacific. Just more more great reasons to tune in and turn on so you'll fall in love with TV again with the best from KUAM Communications. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
I decided to get vaccinated because I knew that it was the only way to keep myself, my family, friends, and everyone safe. And it was also my way of contributing to the fight against COVID-19. And I also encourage everyone out there, and especially those in the FSM communities here on Guam, to do your part and get vaccinated. My name is Victorious Flan, and I am a proud member of the vaccination.
Join the vaccination. Scan and plan. For more information, go to KUAM.com.
Addis Trust and Investment. Location, service, trust is a proud partner of the KU.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
KUAM Communications continues our perpetuation of our Chamorro culture, language, and heritage, with features available to our listening and viewing audience, including streaming of Chamorro music 24 hours per day on Isla Digital Radio on KUAM.com and the KUAM News app. Chamorro News Update, weekdays on The Link and the KUAM News YouTube channel. Conversations about life in our Chamorro language podcast, Cuentos Tapoco, with Kin Conception, seasonal specials, shows, and other features highlighting the beauty of our language, culture, and history. It's a new era of our continued commitment to our Chamorro heritage. Isla, watch, listen, stream. Viva Isla!
KUAM News, in partnership with the Guam Visitors Bureau, brings you the Guam Safe and WTTC Safe Travel Certified Program Showcase. Look out for this powerful symbol for visitors, island residents, and industry workers alike, as it represents establishments with a consistent global commitment to safety practices. Stamped with approval by the Guam Visitors Bureau and the World Travel Tourism Council. Every Monday on KUAM News will feature a different local business who's taken the Safe Guam and Safe Travels pledge to maintain health and safety standards to get Guam back on track. Log on to visitguam.com to see how your business can receive the designation, what businesses in our community are Guam Safe certified, and have the WTTC Safe Travel certified.
Listen, watch, and learn from the daily Chamorro news updates from KUAM News. Catch them on The Link during the 8 o'clock hour, streaming online on Isla Radio, or on the KUAM News YouTube channel for your convenience. Tune in and stay informed, all while preserving our precious culture through the daily use of our native Chamorro language. Chamorro news updates are brought to you by your familia at First Hawaiian Bank.
Welcome back to The Link, everybody. Tuesday morning here on Guam. If you are in the mainland and you continue to do what we did all of yesterday and, basically all year round, we honor, we say thank you, we say Sizus Masi, and we remember all of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice on Memorial Day. We wish you and your family the very, very best. We are here now, and we have a member of the Guam Legislature with us, the minority leader, to interact with Chris and Bree. Senator Chris Duenas. Senator, good morning. Half a day.
Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Chris and Bree, and thank you for this opportunity once again. And exactly, thank you for all of you who have served and especially to the families who the ultimate sacrifice that we celebrate, of Memorial Day, of those who died for our freedom. So related Memorial Day, and for those on the mainland, like you said, we're remembering with you today.
Well said.
Right on. Let's just get right into it then.
Or will we?
I'm sorry. We were talking, Sabrina and I were talking before we came on about this whole like American Rescue Plan, spending plan that we have yet to see from the governor.
Right.
Right. So you guys met with her. Before you met with her, you came up with your whole priority spending list, and now Speaker Terlahi is doing. There's going to be a public hearing process for this priority spending plan. But Bree, actually, she's the main rememberer around here. Thank God. She was like, when the CARES Act funding came out, before it even came out, they had a plan for it. Remember?
It was
like a proposed budget.
Yeah.
It was something in paper.
No, the Treasury came out with their guidance,
Right.
and then they
meaning Adelup.
Yeah, and then they came out with like their budget spending plan for $118 million.
Correct. So it might not have been like before, but it was something in black and white that you could touch and read and analyze. But I don't know. I mean, we're not in government, Senator, so let's just ask you, is it weird at all that we have not seen a single piece of paper from Adelup saying this is how we're going to spend the $600 million?
Yeah, it's very different, and I think it's actually becoming very frustrating at this point. It's interesting because we find out in bits and pieces, like when last week when we had the hearing for public health and the Guam Memorial Hospital, public health came forward and basically deleted $17 million from its budget request. And when we said, what are you doing? I mean, that's general fund revenue normally. And you guys remember there was this huge battle for the current fiscal year over, underfunding of public health. And here they went in and basically deleted 17 million. So, we're getting that money from the CARES Act. So I was like, from the rescue plan. And I was like, okay, I guess we're starting to see the plan unveil itself. And then GMH came in and basically said they also, removed $10 million from their budget request. Now, they didn't attribute that completely to the rescue plan, but they basically said we're doing some aggressive collecting and the like, and we have some federal fund opportunities. I don't know if that meant the rescue plan, but so that right there, just in those two public hearings was $27 million that we can essentially go in and remove from the general fund appropriations for this fiscal year. So it's bewildering at best, and I really hope that the governor just comes forward soon and unveils what she wants to do, because as we've discussed, so we can go down the list, right? There's 20 million, or maybe it's 30 million now for GVB that's been discussed. There's another 18 million for Matapang revitalization. There's 38 million, I think, that's been discussed for GIDA, for additional business support, small business support. 300 million for the hospital. So yeah, there's no plan, but there's a piecemeal plan kind of dripping out. And I think it's important for us to kind of get back on the same page and figure out what is, what the plan really is.
But what is your response though? Because she did say yesterday in an interview with the media after the Memorial Day commemoration at the PD Veterans Cemetery regarding that the ARP plan and waiting for public comments because other governors had questions about the interim final rule from the U.S. Treasury. And so on the Federal Registry, the deadline to accept public comments is not until July 16th. And the governor was, I want to be accurate. I want to make sure that, her investment plan is correct and follows all the guidelines, and appeared to seem like, this plan might not even come out till after that time. And even with the RISE Act, it was, she said, well, I'm just following the law. $30 million was what was appropriated, and that's what it's going to be, despite the fact that it went from the RISE Act to the All RISE Act and included government of Guam employees and retirees.
Yeah, so I'm a little confused by that too, and the reason why is because we've been talking about following the law kind of since day one with the RISE Act, right? And then it became the All RISE Act, and of course that's done by executive order. So I think just circling back to the beginning, the fact of the matter is this money is completely at the governor's discretion. And so, whatever the governor and the executive branch decides to do, that's their prerogative, right? But the fact of the matter is that we've talked about this plan kind of ad nauseum at this point. And the thing is that even if you're waiting for the guidelines, the most important thing is to have a plan. Whatever doesn't match, then you just, you delete it and you move that money somewhere else. So I think that bringing it back to the legislature, I think that's, why we want to have this. I'm a co-sponsor to the resolution on our plan that we put together. We want to have this, this open dialogue with the people of Guam and through the public hearing process. And, we'll see if they agree with priorities that we have lined out. But I think it's important, whether the guidelines are clear at this point. I think at least the draft guidelines are definitely clear. You heard in the beginning, I want to put $300 million away for the hospital. Then I'm not sure it can do it. Then, oh no, we went back and read the rules. It's good to go. Lester said it's good to go. So there is a reading of at least the draft, guidance, and it seems like that they kind of know pretty much what they can do. So I think it's just important to get it out there so the people of Guam can see it. But in terms of the All RISE Act, I mean, I think having done that by executive order and basically including an entire new class of individuals, I think that, if it requires more than 30 million, then the governor's just going to have to come up with that money, because the thing is that, you expanded that by executive order, which is your authority. So you really should fund it fully to what the RISE Act called for in terms of the $800 and the $1,600 for joint filers. I'm a little curious too. You guys, and one of my favorite directors, Daphne Shimizu, I guess you'll have her on at some point this week, but I'm a little surprised on this application process too. I mean, I'm sure that's a revenue tax thing where it's a disclosure of information issue, but I would imagine that they can basically ascertain all the taxpayers of Guam, what the estimate would be on this. Because, I mean, we've done EIP 3 times now. And obviously, revenue tax has that capability of knowing exactly who qualifies when they have to cut those checks. So I can't imagine it's all that hard for them to go into their system and figure out, who's going to qualify for this RISE Act and what it's actually going to cost.
Do you have any idea what it's actually going to cost? Because we were talking about this last week when you have a government leader that's going to make a big pronouncement like the All RISE Act. It usually would come with an associated price tag or, at least a guesstimate or...
Right. So my understanding was that $30 million that was pegged, I wasn't in the 35th Guam Legislature, but my understanding was that that number was pegged to some sort of estimate. So I think that, that was within the ballpark, right? Yeah. But as you said, when you're talking about now all government of Guam employees, and you're talking about, federal individuals, under federal fund, those paid with federal monies. And when we're talking about the retirees, if you actually go in to the law, I reviewed it this morning again, the retirees have always been included. It was if you retired in 2020, which made sense because you were employed at that time and you were receiving an income. So retirees are kind of factored in if in the simple reading of the law. And it was just that 2020 period, like I said, which would make sense because you were employed at the time, basically taking all of your full benefits. And so, that's kind of been on the table from the beginning. I think some folks didn't understand that, but if you go in and read it, it's clear. So I think that, that 30 million, they hadn't probably peg that at some sort of estimate, but I can't imagine it's that hard for them to go in and actually get a closer.
You know what I think it kind of seems like is that by making this an application process, that fewer people will actually jump through the hoops and apply for it, because I mean, you're right. It just seems like it should be an EIP kind of thing where you just get it automatically. But
Yeah,
I wonder if that's kind of maybe what it is that, if we make people jump through all these hoops, then maybe fewer people will apply, and then we'll be able to cover everybody with the 30 million. I mean, I don't know. No one knows. We don't know what they're thinking because they don't let us know.
Yeah, so the way I heard it from Rev Taxes, they'll soon be placing a notification up of frequently asked questions, and I'm looking forward to that, so we can go in and see how what guidance they're giving. But Chris and Bree, I really think it shouldn't be a very difficult process. I mean, we have earned income tax credit. We have a lot of programs that actually support the working poor, if you will. And so I really don't think it should be cumbersome. If it's an issue of you're authorizing Rev Tax to use your records and disclose and become part of the program, it should be a simple one-liner, I would imagine. I hereby authorize whatever. It doesn't seem like it should be like going in and applying for a job or something. I think they should make it as easy as possible. I agree with you, Chris. We have these programs that we've been implementing, and it shouldn't be that tough.
One thing, though, the governor said that, she maintained that she's just following the law, and the application process was included in the law.
I read once again, and I'm going to go back and read it again today, but I didn't see anywhere in there that there was an application process. As a matter of fact, what I saw in my simple reading was it was the director and the administration of Rev Tax that basically has got 30 days to execute this program upon identifying the funding. And so I'll read it again, but I did not actually see a statute. I didn't see it in statute that your job as a taxpayer is to go and apply for this benefit.
Mm-hmm.
It gave the rules and regulations and the guidelines on who qualifies, what that all is. But unless I missed it, I'm going to go back and read it again. I didn't actually see, a section in there that said, that you have to literally go in. Now, when I heard Daphne talking about it, it sounded like it was an issue with whenever you're going to do something, with your taxes, you're authorizing Rev Tax. That's why I'm thinking it can't be that hard. It can't be this huge application. It's got to be something whereby you just give that authorization, because it's your tax document, right?
Right. I wanted to get a comment. I don't know if we did get one about the failed override attempt.
Yeah, I was disappointed about that.
We're talking about this. Sorry, Senator, just let me give you a little background. We're talking about this failed override attempt, I believe it was Friday, and this was Senator Duenas' bill that would have given the legislature more of a say in extending or ending these public health emergencies that keep getting extended.
Right. So, kind of interesting, because in the comments after voting, we always have extemporaneous comments, and when the speaker got up to make her comments, she mentioned, "I just got the notice that the public health emergency's been extended." And there was a big chuckle on the floor of the legislature because, of course, the override just failed. But I just went through real quickly and I kind of scanned it, and I really didn't find anything new in there. Some discussion of variants and the like, but I didn't see anything earth-shattering to say that this is why we're extending the public health emergency. I was disappointed. We passed Jim Moylan's bill, which is a good bill, for more transparency and accountability in the government, and that was the bill requiring reports every 30 days on emergency procurement. And we all know that fiasco, and we saw that report, from when there was a lot of media pressure and the like to under the CARES Act money to get GSA to disclose, all that emergency procurement. And the public auditor was discussing that, and so it was a great bill. I was thinking, because that bill passed unanimously, maybe my colleagues would have thought, let's go ahead and override this veto so we can do more of this when it comes to interacting with the governor, especially going into our 15th month of declaration of public health emergency. So unfortunately, we failed to get the override, but hey, at least we passed another transparency measure, which requires a report on emergency procurement every 30 days.
I'm looking at the RISE Act, by the way, and it does say filing a claim for
Did you find it?
Yeah, under Exhibit A. So it does say eligible individuals must register at the website specified by DRT to fill out and submit the application online, along with the required documents pursuant to Section 5, or must file an application and submit the required documents in such other form as prescribed by the director. And also, it does say the maximum amount allowed to be paid under the program, not including administrative costs, is $30 million.
Right, yeah. So I guess that would be, I mean, if I was you guys, I'd do little like RISE Act sign-up clinics, you know what I mean, to get the word out.
Yeah. You would think that you know, that would go out immediately since it's been authorized, and especially now that it's an All Rise Act, given the fact that it's a larger pool of individuals, I would think DRT would immediately put something out that, you know, here it is, here's what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to get you Sabrina's glasses.
I better stop speed reading.
So what are we going to do if $30 million isn't enough? We're going to have to go back. I mean, can the governor, because she doesn't need anyone to tell her what to do with ARPA money.
Yeah, so I mean, there's $604 million in the bank, right? And so even another bill that Senator Moylan, myself, and Tony Ada, you know, introduced to actually increase the RISE Act, you know, that was never heard. Maybe this process would have, you know, been more heavily discussed had that bill been heard. But, you know, to me, the governor has that authority. She's basically done this by executive order now. So I think whatever requirement there is, I think people will be disappointed because the law prescribes the 800 and the 1600 for joint filers. I think the people will be disappointed if what that would mean is then 30 million would cover less than what the benefit called for.
Right.
So I think the governor, regardless, because this has been expanded by executive order, I think that regardless, she's going to have to, you know, come up with the money and just whatever the price tag is what the price tag's going to be.
Yeah, but that means that it's going to, whatever the price tag is, if it's over 30, it's going to come from somewhere else. You know, meaning some other program that was supposed to get money.
Right. So I guess that's even more important why we need to see the plan then, because we'll see what program you know, we'll be sure to cover that program.
I think there was a media that had FOIA'd for this plan, I want to say, but did they say it was in draft form?
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it's the wording, right? Maybe you should ask for like the drawdown request.
Something.
Because that's what the CNMI did when the interim final rule came out.
They filed a drawdown request.
Yeah, they filed a drawdown request.
It was very interesting when we spoke with the CNMI governor's office. Kevin Bautista, the spokesperson for the CNMI governor's office, he had said that they were ready to spend the money the day they got it. You know what I mean? Which is way different than what we're hearing from our governor.
They said that they weren't going to wait. They weren't going to wait for the July 16th for public comments to be submitted to Treasury regarding the interim final rule, that they're good to go and, you know, going to make it rain.
Yeah, we're certainly getting different stories. I know that, you know, it was supposedly part of this meeting that happens between the president and the governors, you know, when they get online and discuss, you know, what all the programs and upcoming, you know, information that they get guidance from the federal government. And supposedly it was a few governors that were, you know, saying that they needed clarity and some more clarification, and that's what was going on. But yeah, it seems to vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction in terms of the interpretation. But I think it's time to move along and just get her done, right?
Get her done.
Yep.
All right. Well, you know what happens when none of this money's being spent, it just fuels that whole, and I don't even know if it's a conspiracy, but people are always talking about, I mean, you get in the comments, oh, she wants to leave the money in her bank so it could get interest or whatever. So this kind of inaction only fuels that crazy talk. I mean, I don't even know if it's crazy talk. I don't know about banking.
It really does, and particularly with the RISE Act, I think the frustration is that, the comments that I get, on people emailing, calling, catching me on Facebook and asking me a question, it's really like the frustration is the goalpost just keeps moving, and so I think that it's time to basically just get the information out there, let the folks know what we're doing, and move along, because let's face it, people need this money, and that's what it comes down to. I mean, the whole idea, in passing that legislation was an anticipation of additional federal monies. And we know that, PUA and FBUC is coming to a close in September. This money can only help, and it was designed to help those who basically, didn't have the benefit of a job where even if they didn't go to work, they were getting paid. So, I have to feel for those folks and their anticipation and anxiety over wanting to make sure that, they can secure those resources to help, get along.
Yeah.
So I hope we just get together and settle it and get it moving.
I mean, it's been almost a year, really. It has been almost a year since all these people who were, kind of in the parameters of who the RISE Act will benefit. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's been almost a year. I mean, these people, they still need that money, but they really needed it back then, and I don't understand the whole dragging of the feet. But we got to go, Senator. Go ahead.
Sounds good. Sabrina, you can fact check my speed reading again.
Yeah,
let me see if I remember this one right. December 2021, I think, is the time allotted to expend this fund. So.
Okay.
All rise.
No, you didn't.
He did. He did.
All right, Minority Leader. We'll see you.
Take care. Thank you.
Take it easy,
care,
Senator.
guys. Thanks.
Yeah. Boy, that was like 37 minutes of frustration, huh? It's got to be frustrating. It's got to be so frustrating. But I feel like we're in God, I hate to say it because I'm not even a crazy person, but the tyranny, does anybody have a say? And just to see these senators trying to do their part, they really are. They're trying. They're trying to be involved with this process. It's kind of different with the CARES Act because it's just the governor's like, no, this is my money. All right, but by writing the letter to the senators saying, okay, yeah, you guys got ideas. Well, yeah, let's go meet. I mean, that kind of was like almost viewed as an olive branch.
Do you remember though when that $118 million spending plan came out and you saw some of the items that were on there, like
maybe that's why they don't want to. That's probably why they don't want to come out with a plan again, right? Because they're going to be like $10,000 raise for the communications director, $10,000 raise for digital engagement Facebook poster guy, and people are going to be like, "What the hell kind of priority spending plan is this? Goodness, go feed this to the chicken." No, but it's frustrating because this money is supposed to take us. It's a bridge. It's like bridge financing. It's supposed to take us to where we need to go. That's why it's so important to know what we're going to spend it on. And I think the senators came up with a great plan. I thought it was great. They had money in there for Chamorro Land Trust, to modernize Chamorro Land Trust, to bring everybody up. You know what I mean? They had money for waterworks and the sewage plants so we wouldn't have to endure a 30% water increase over the next 3 years. They had money for the mayor's council. It was way more detailed than anything we've seen come out of Adelup. Well, because we haven't seen anything come out of Adelup. And I just can't believe we just spent 45 minutes talking about how there's no plan from the governor. It's nuts. What world is this, Sabrina?
We've been talking about no plan already.
I know, it's been a while. But I just don't understand, how do you get away with not having a plan?
The update, though, is that, July 16th, hopefully after that time, sometime after, we'll see a plan that's accurate and, follows all the guidelines and maybe get some rise payments after that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Because
though, that is a long way.
There's also going to be this public hearing process where we're going to get public input. And guys, I would really encourage you to go out. Like, if you think that there's an area that these senators missed, or that the governor might overlook, or that maybe you see on the village level or anything, go and testify with this public hearing.
It is a hybrid public hearing on Friday.
Right. So
11 a.m.
If you looked at any of these spending plans, or if you listened to any of the conversation that people are having about where this 600 some million is going to go, and you feel like, wow, they're forgetting about this or that, or maybe you support something in one of these spending plans, then go and testify. Let your voice be heard, because if you guys don't go and testify, and if the governor doesn't see people coming out, then she's going to think, oh, they don't care what I do. It's 7:41. Let's head into the KUAM News Zoom room, where he's standing by in the Halamtano. Mayor Jesse Allig. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Well, the two things that other than the most recent conversation, the two things that I learned this morning from KUAM is meandering and clothing. And so I am meandering this morning. So I'm away from people.
Right. You're at the Hyatt. Is there like a conference going on or something?
No. I just have a meeting at 8 a.m. here.
Right.
Breakfast meeting.
Right on.
Things,
Good for you. So, Mayor Allig, of course, the president of the Mayor's Council of Guam. Did you bring Mayor
Kenga?
Mayor Kenga?
Yeah, he confirmed. So I'm perhaps he'd be logging on. I'm not sure. I sent him the.
Oh, you sent him the Zoom.
So.
Okay. Because anybody south of Chalapago, we have trouble figuring out the Zoom.
Well, on a brighter note for us, I know that over the weekend and the past week, I think a lot of people have been calling our office, or my office actually, on the recyclables. And so I do know that we had that on hold for a while, simply because we weren't able to increase the POs, and most mayors did not actually have enough money. But so this week, they should actually restart their programs. Last week, we issued green waste bin POs, so that could be taken care of. But this week, they should be able to call their mayor's office and hopefully get on a list, or on their waiting list for a pickup of any white goods or electronics that they may have, including the abandoned vehicles. But I think one of the things that I really want to impress upon our residents is, if you are a JSWA customer, to please call them or send them an email first, because you're already paying for the service. So have them pick up your bulk items first. Make that schedule with them. They're very good about scheduling that. And if that's, if you've already exceeded your limit, then, give us a call, and we'll certainly see what we can do to help you out. I think that kind of just reinforces our appreciation for the legislature's submission of our $7 million to the governor for recyclables and for trash pickup, because that we're seeing more and more people requesting for assistance. And so I'm grateful for Senator Snogstein, the Speaker, and the senators for recommending that amount of money to the governor to give to the Mayor's Council for our cleanup, our island-wide cleanup. And that's definitely to know that's the initial cleanup, and not to replace what we're currently receiving from EPA through the Recycling Revolving Fund. Because we're going to need a maintenance fund, and we're hoping that after this one round of cleanup of $7 million to also purchase equipment for us, that the Recycling Revolving Fund money will be good maintenance money for all the 19 villages. And so that's definitely a step forward, and we're hoping that that'll go through the governor's office. And as far as dogs and cats, we got 98 cats, and I believe it's 98 dogs and 18 cats for the month of May. Mayor Paco is still our chairperson for the roundup, and there's some contention there as well, because not everyone agrees to the roundup. And so we're working, we have a regular meeting tomorrow of the Mayor's Council of Guam, and definitely one of the topics is going to be animal control, because I think the mayors need to take a heavier or a bigger stance on our proposal to eliminate this problem. And so we do believe that it takes a multi-pronged approach, but we're hoping that we can put our minds together to create some type of proposal that will add on to the current proposal from Senator Ugel's bill that he's introducing that we discussed on the show last week. And so that's on our plate this week. That's what I got.
98 dogs, 18 cats. Are these, so these would have been rounded up, but how many were you guys actually able to give over to GAIN?
Oh, that's what was submitted to GAIN. That's what's submitted. Though that amount was submitted.
I see. Okay.
So we also have, so we're able to dispose of the dead carcasses at the dump. So if we, of course, if we pick that up, that's where it goes. And it doesn't go to GAIN. Only the live animals go to GAIN.
Right.
Is there any update on COVID differential pay for staff of the mayors?
No update. No update. No check.
And what is the real deal here? Is it paperwork or is it no money?
The last that I heard, it was no money. And so there could be money if we used our local funds and our own money, our own mayor's council money. But we don't, come the end of this month, we'll have a shortfall. And so we won't be able to use any of our money to cover any of those COVID differential pay. This is just simply not enough money. So we were told that we're waiting for the money that came in for the governor.
And how much is owed, would you say, total?
Sabrina, I always know that you have the smart questions, and I really should next time prepare myself with that number. But I don't have the number. I don't have the number, but I certainly can get that for you. It's definitely something that we have tallied. I just need to get it. So because we submitted the timesheet bi-weekly.
And the last time COVID differential pay was paid to Mayor's Council of Guam employees, when was that?
That was this past December 2020.
And that was all paid for through CARES Act funding?
That is correct, yes.
How are your employees dealing with that? I mean, what are they saying to you about not getting paid their COVID differential pay?
Well, I know there are definitely some that are not so happy about it and continue to call out their mayors, and their mayors definitely let us know. But for the most part, I think most of our staff are understanding, and they know that they will eventually get that pay. And I guess it's similar to if we were doing a typhoon, because if we had a typhoon, typically they don't get their pay until 2 or 3 months after the typhoon. And so I know that I mentioned that before, and it's since January and it's June now, and they haven't received anything. But I think for the most part, most staff are understanding, and I think that's one of the things that that we should do is commend our staff. And I hate to just pat ourselves on the back, but we do need to commend our staff because they don't, as hard as it might seem, they don't make the most money in the government of Guam. They probably make one of the least amount of money,
right? And
they continue to work. So this differential pay is definitely something that's necessary for them as well, because they too are in their lives are at stake when they go out and cope.
Right. Well, we have Mayor Kenga has just joined us here in the Zoom. What's up with that?
Morning, Ken.
He's got the radio on.
Mayor, hi, Mayor. Do you have the radio on?
Hi, Mayor. Do you have the radio on? The what? I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, good morning, Mayor. This is Jason.
Oh, hey, good morning, Mayor.
Is your car radio on?
Is your car radio on? Yes, I'm actually using my Bluetooth in the car.
Oh yeah. Do you mind disabling it? Because we're getting an echo back, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
Hi, Mayor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Right on.
Thank
That
you, Mayor.
sounded good. Right on.
You're welcome, sir.
Jotnia Mayor Bill Kenga. Mayor, we got a few minutes here, but I know you wanted to come up and do a Jotnia update. Other than the food truck thing going on Friday, what else is going on in the Ville?
Well, mainly just a lot of cleaning up. A lot of the grass is growing so fast because of all the rain that just passed. And our staff here at the mayor's office has been doing a great deal with cleaning up with the residents, helping the residents, and some of our sister squadron has come to Donna last week to help us clean the Tagatsang, pick up the trash and make assessments on our building and see what they can donate to help us. So yeah, we worked with them last week. Other than that, mainly just the cleaning and addressing all the residents' concerns. Stray dogs and which is normal for all mayors. It's been a great deal for us as well.
How are you guys doing with the stray dog roundup in Jotnia?
Well, when we trap them, we bring them up to game, and we let game handle it after that. But we of course we coordinate with Mayor Paco in order for us to make arrangements to have them dropped off.
Are you guys having any problems with illegal dumping in Jotnia?
Yes, that too. Before it's been really bad down at the Tagatsing Beach, Turtle Cove Beach, and elsewhere, even in the dark spots. At night, people would just dump. As a matter of fact, last night going to Leo Palace Road from Palanta, there's a lot of trash bags on the side of the road, so we're gonna pick that up this morning. So yeah, illegal dumping has been a great big deal here also.
Wow, I didn't know.
But I just ask the staff to stay positive minded about everything, any negative people bring about here in our village or anywhere. We just keep that positive mindset and keep pushing forward. Hopefully one day they'll follow us.
Why would anybody say anything negative about Jotnia?
Don't they know Jotnia rule?
No, like what I mean, yeah. When like for example, illegal dumping, we just have them stay positive. Our staff stay positive about everything, regardless of what negative people do. I mean, the things that people do negatively.
Mayor, what about Turtle Cove? Because I know that there was people squatting down there for many years. What's the status now with Turtle Cove? Is it open?
Well, yeah, it is open. I'm not able to close that beach, being that it's private property. I forget what business owns that Turtle Cove beach, but even the guys who go down there and pick up trash as well. I mean, advise the residents or anybody that goes down to Tagatsing Beach Turtle Cove to pick up after themselves if they may.
I wanted to ask the PD mayor, just Mayor Alec, about what do you make of the tiny homes?
Oh yeah,
up at the cemetery.
Right, that's your village, huh?
Man, when I was watching that on the news, I said, I can't believe that thing out of hand, and somebody dropped the ball on that side. So, I just hope and pray for the best and make it where they can stop and do something about it. Right now it's probably too late, but to further build any more homes like that. Like they say, the typhoon comes, that's another trash pickup for the PD mayor and stuff like that.
Oh man, Mayor Alec.
No, that's not true. Yeah. You're right, Mayor Bill, but that's not true.
Don't worry, Mayor. I'll be there to help you.
Yeah, right.
Don't roost.
So no, I agree. To answer your question, I did speak with the DPR director, and he was very forthcoming about how they did not follow the regulations, right, for those graves, and so I did ask for some type of remedy because adjacent to those tiny homes are the real deal homes, And Mayor Bill is right. When there is a typhoon, what's going to happen when all that blows out? I mean, who regulated the building, right? Did they get a building permit? Did DPW come and make it an inspection? And I think the answer is no. And so, quite honestly, I'm not. I understand that families did that for their purpose, and I know how it feels to mourn. So I'm not trying to be insensitive, but if it's not supposed to be there, it needs to be removed because the safety of our residents is paramount. I mean, jokingly, they're 6 feet under, quite honestly, and there's safe there. So everything above that needs to be, also regulated so that everyone else around there that's alive will remain alive. And so hopefully DPR does regulate that further and resolve that issue because it is a big concern for us.
Yeah, it really is. It's beautiful, if you've seen the video and the pictures, but the concern about what if there was a storm or something.
I mean, there's that, and then there's also people messaging me saying that with this big house next to our grave, we can't really go visit our loved one because we're having to get around this friggin' little tiny home.
Yeah, and you can't see it from the road, and I'm sure you guys went up there. I think you did go up there. So I also didn't see it until actually one of my staff had actually mentioned it to me. So when I walked in, when I went in, that's when I saw that. But and then it went viral real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even a day. Everybody knew about the home. And so of course, I like to joke around, and I had a joke that. Well, I'd rather not say.
Right. Okay. We'll get you offline. Well,
I just hope and pray that I just hope and pray that none of the homeless take advantage of that place out there, the cemetery. You know what I mean, right? But it really is nice. Some of them,
Mm-hmm.
I could sleep in there.
Yeah.
You see me homeless that Mampus Togo, the Harmon, the dying.
No, we're gonna.
Swimming pool if you're not.
Oh my God.
Aye, day. Well, I don't know. Maybe the solution is if they're gonna allow this at the cemetery, that they start, doing the plots a little more, and then maybe a building code. I don't know, Mayor. It's a tough one.
Well, I think not personally, and together with my municipal county council, I think they need to close the cemetery and relocate it, or open up another government cemetery.
Yeah.
Because as you can tell, I mean, they're just clearing. Pretty soon, it's going to be at my office. I mean, right down the hill from there to the end. It's just my office is right down that hill. So, yeah. I think they've reached capacity. I mean, just based on what it looks like.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. That's I mean, people keep dying every day. I don't know why we don't have another government cemetery.
Right.
Okay, Mayors, we got to run, but thank you guys.
Okay, thank you. You guys have a good week.
Welcome. You guys have a good day.
You too. Magamas. Right on. 7:59. KUAM FM. I got in Guam. We're going to take a quick break, and we're coming back on KUAM TV next, right here on the link. Good morning.
We got your 6
at 6 a.m. with the link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6. Good morning, Guam. Right on. It's 8:02. Welcome to the link. My name's Chris.
I'm Sabrina.
I'm Jason. I missed that, man.
Yeah.
That's how you want to wake up right there.
That is, bro.
Either at 6 or 8.
Gets the blood flowing. You know what I mean? Try it, guys.
It helps if you sit up straight because you need that airflow. You can't do that lying down.
Yeah. Good morning. It's 8:02. This is the link, and it's all proudly brought to you by our friends at Pacific Points. Jack in the Box. Jay, when are we going to do the milkshakes for breakfast?
We need to do that tomorrow. Well, tomorrow. It's hump day.
All right.
Halfway through the week.
Halfway. Celebrate.
Yeah.
I feel like if we're going to have a milkshake, the morning's the best time. This is my Chamorro diet and exercise mentality. Have a milkshake in the morning so that way you have the whole day to burn it off. Does that even make sense?
Okay, wait. How far into the milkshake universe are we going? How deep is your milkshake savvy?
Well, I'm just going to get the vanilla one.
What is your milkshake oeuvre? Because you can just do, anybody can whip together, ice cream in a cup. Do you want the whipped cream, the cherry?
Yeah, the works. If you ever guys are ever on Jack in the Box and you see like a bunch of dudes hanging around, it's because their milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Also brought to you by Cabo Enterprises, East West Rental. Thank you.
You know what I missed? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
IT&E as well. Good morning.
You know what I missed from Jack in the Box? When Jack in the Box first opened, I remember I went there all the time. There was a Dalmatian, and you don't really see Dalmatians a lot on Guam, but that Dalmatian would hang out at the top in the Jack in the Box parking lot. And I remember for months, and you would see it go down as far as like the beach bar.
Wow.
Just, like looking for food and like trying to, see if anybody would give it some handouts. Okay. Link fam, reply in the comments if you even know what I'm talking about. But there was a Dalmatian dog that would just hang out there. I don't see it anymore, so it's somewhat tragic. But I remember we talked about doing
rounded up.
Yeah, we talked about doing a story on it possibly. It's like, wow, like it's a Dalmatian. Where outside a firehouse on Guam do you see a Dalmatian?
Right. Thanks for that, Jay.
Yeah.
Guys, Jason
you find 100 more, you have a Disney movie.
Jason Solis is back from vacation. He's all pent up. And he's ready for you guys this morning. Here's who's coming up on the show. John Beneventi, Disconnections, Guam Power Authority, Guam Waterworks, starting today. Okay. We're also going to look at work week weather, brought to you by Docomo Pacific with Landon Idlet from the National Weather Service. Senator Sabina Perez coming on to catch up. At 9 o'clock, we're heading down to Inalahan for the unveiling of they got a new mural down there. And so we're going to get Inalahan staff. We have the PTO president and a teacher to show us that mural, which was done by, I believe I want to say Lisa Nicholas did it. It's really awesome. 9:15, Jason, we're going off island?
Yeah, we are going to check in with Aubrey Yenger Mariano. She is a ceramic artist, and she participated in a regional art exhibit, and she and a couple of her friends were showing like how we have Chamorro art. So she represented the island well, and it was in Honolulu.
The sculpture, right?
Yeah. And she goes to school out there, and like her family's from Manila, so she's going to come out and talk about what that was like to actually learn from other Pacific cultures and show the best of who we are.
And then we're going to go over to GCC where Joni Kerr of the GCC Eco Warriors is throwing a conservation conference, and she's coming on with a bunch of people about that. It's Tuesday, June 1st. Let's go ahead and get into the news now with the very latest from the KUAM News team. Good morning, Sabrina Solis-Matanani.
Hafaday, good morning, everyone. We begin with an update on that Dewitt warehouse fire in Harmon from several weeks ago. Company President Corinne Burking says they have been informed that the investigation has been completed and the official cause of the fire was undetermined. The company thanked all those who helped, including GFD, ATF, and the U.S. Naval Response Team, as well as neighbors in the Harmon Industrial Park. Due to the quick actions from GFD and their fire protection wall, the rest of their warehouse was spared and no other structures were damaged. Burking adds Dewitt continues to be 100% focused on working with their accounts who suffered a loss in the tragedy and would like to thank them for their patience and understanding. With more news, here is Isaiah Uggan.
Hafaday, good morning, everyone. Guahusi Isaiah Uggan with your headlines here on The Link. Struggling families and businesses will have to wait at least almost 2 months before they'll see a penny from the President's American Rescue Plan funds. Sabrina Salas-Matanani reports.
More than $600 million delivered to Guam, just waiting to be released into the people's pocketbooks. Governor Lilian Guerrero holds the purse strings.
I want to make sure when we do announce it and we do provide our investment plan that it's something that is good information.
It was on May 11th, the U.S. Treasury issued its interim final rule on how to spend Arpa funds. Although the provisions in the interim final rule were effective May 17th, the Treasury is accepting public comments until July 16th.
We are reading the guidance. I've read the guidance. I'm hoping it's not going to be a lot of big changes. I don't think so, but there were questions that were raised by other governors, and so I think they're trying to address that.
The governor has not yet submitted a proposal on how she plans to spend the money, but recently announced the expansion of the RISE Act to the All Rise Act, which now includes GovGuam employees and retirees to receive assistance. The original program capped funding at $30 million, but even with their expansion to include all eligible taxpayers, the governor doesn't plan to increase funding, but keep it at the current level.
I'm following the law, sure. The expansion of the law is to include the retirees and the government employees. I followed the law as it's mandated, which is 40,000 and 80,000 income level eligibility. So, and it's an application process. I want the people to know it's not an automatic process. They do have to apply. And so that's all stated in the mandate.
The Guam Legislature will hold a public hearing on their spending plan for American Rescue Plan funds, or Resolution 93. More than $600 million has been given to Guam for spending at the governor's discretion. Instead of waiting for the island chief executive to present her plan, lawmakers submitted their priorities for the expenditures of the funds. Speaker Therese Serlahi says they want to give the people the opportunity to provide their input and suggestions.
We'll take everything that they give us. It will be, permanized in a record, available for all senators, available for the agencies that are actually implementing these plans, and available for the governor for consideration in her plan. And, whenever we get her plan, I'm sure that all plans can be made even better with more input. So for me, the more, the better. And so that's the goal.
The governor has not presented an official spending plan, but has already indicated she plans to provide $300 million for a new medical facility. The public hearing on Resolution 93 is this Friday at 11 a.m. Residents can either attend in person at the legislature or online. The President's fiscal year 2022 budget contains key provisions that bring parity to territories like Guam. The Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration lauds the Biden budget for its proposals to eliminate the Medicaid funding cap for territories and aligns matching rates with those for states. The budget plan also moves toward parity in the other critical programs such as Supplemental Security Income, or SSI. The President's fiscal year 2022 budget comes with a $6 trillion price tag. The Department of Defense also rolled out its fiscal year 2022 budget over the weekend. The budget prioritized the threat from China and provides funding to begin plans for Indo-PACOM's Pacific Deterrence Initiative. According to the fiscal year 2022 budget, DoD plans to invest over $66 billion in the Indo-Pacific region. A part of the spending plan includes funding to the Missile Defense Agency for the defense of Guam. Missile Defense Agency Director, Navy Vice Admiral John Hill.
Guam capability, and what's sort of the timeline? It looks like you're investing $100 million in that, but if you could give a little bit more detail on what the architecture may be looking like, or how you're going to compete for this or something.
Yeah, well, we're not really positioned to do that yet. So you referred a little bit to what's in the Indo-PACOM Pacific Defense Initiative. So there's that, and the request from Indo-PACOM. But right now we're in the middle of doing that architecture analysis with the CAPE and with the Joint Staff and others to make sure that we have the options on the table so that we can make use of the resources that we have to give the best defense possible for Guam. And so we're working through that now. And part of that, the real focus on those dollars in the 22 budget are to do things like spectrum analysis in the area, because we know we need the sensing capability. We know that we have varying topology there across the island. So how would you place those sensors? Where would the fire control systems go? Where would the weapons go? So there's work there, and there's likely some long lead material items that we would want to procure. But we're keeping that option space open now within the department until we come through all of those trades.
The PDI calls for an Agus Ashore system to be positioned on island, which provides a 360-degree shield of defense against threats from China. While discussions are ongoing about the Airbnb program, a crew from CBS News in Japan flew into Guam to join the vaccination.
It's been a long time coming for this CBS News crew.
Yeah, we've been trying to get vaccinated for months. This is something has been long sought.
Fresh up out of 6 days in quarantine, it was straight to the UOG Cowboy Fieldhouse to get vaccinated.
I feel a little bit off, but nothing tragic. It's okay.
Tokyo correspondent Lucy Kraft and her colleagues flew in just to receive the one-and-done Johnson & Johnson vaccine administered by Governor Lulian Guerrero on Saturday. As opposed to flying to the mainland, Kraft says was their best shot at getting immunized against COVID.
I was thinking about going to Texas, where my son is, and getting the two-shot Moderna or Pfizer. And it's a long trip, and there's more risk involved. And then the other members of my staff were thinking about, where can we go to get it all done at one fell swoop. And so that's how we eventually settled on Guam.
The decision for the CBS Tokyo Bureau team to get vaccinated here comes on the heels of the Guam Visitors Bureau's plan to implement its Airbnb program, which would allow American expats to travel here to join the vaccination. A meeting between GVB and the governor was held late last week.
I don't think it's going to impact Guam in any negative way. I think it's going to be positive for us. Positive in the sense that we would have a good, PR for those countries that those expats are. And again, it's our way and our culture of helping people.
The governor is hoping to see the Airbnb program implemented in the next 2 to 4 weeks. As for this crew from CBS, they're just glad to get the shot here where America's vaccination day begins.
You guys are pros. It was very, very well handled.
That's it for now. We'll see you tonight for KUAM News Primetime.
From District Court, federal drug defendant Daryl J. Guerrero allegedly made more PayTel phone calls that are suspected to be drug-related transactions. According to Assistant U.S. Attorney Laura Sambataro, about 9 more phone calls were made since May 24th that she plans to bring into evidence during Guerrero's sentencing hearing. Earlier last week, the government played back recordings of Guerrero phone conversations with his mom and others about plans to allegedly bring in contraband into the Hagåtña detention facility. Friday morning, the government asked for a continuance of his sentencing to allow for DEA Task Force Officer Henry James to review the new recordings and decode the language. Defense counsel Jay Areola objected. However, the court sided with the government. Guerrero's sentencing was continued to June 25th. He was arrested in January of last year for allegedly storing and distributing meth out of a Leo Palace Resort hotel room. Guam residents who show their proof of vaccine can travel to the CNMI without being quarantined, and vice versa for CNMI residents. Guam Public Health and the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation signed a memorandum of agreement that provides for the reciprocal policy. Passengers from the CNMI arriving in Guam must present a valid photo ID and their official CNMI immunization record. Likewise, all passengers from Guam arriving in the CNMI must present a valid photo ID, complete an online health declaration form, and are encouraged to upload their lifetime Guam immunization record. The agreement will remain in effect until the expiration of the COVID public health emergency. The Guam Department of Education will host a series of parent input sessions this week, which will cover 2 key topics. One is the state strategic plan, which will show what the department will be doing for the next 5 years, and 2, the new grading policy, which has been revised by teachers and admin. Each session will be held via Zoom and live streamed on Facebook. Both Zoom and Facebook comments will be monitored and shared with GDOE leaders. Anyone unable to tune into the sessions but would like to send their questions, comments, or concerns can email input@gdoe.net. All emails will be addressed by the superintendent and deputy superintendent. And with your news now in Chamorro, here is Kin Conception.
Buenas tardes to get something pinut sa morgen ni KUAM News. Presenta ni Familia Mizo gi First Hawaiian Bank. Aziz na presidente na fiscal year 2022 na budget sa Guahayi Prebención no napareho siya reglamento ni teritoryo ni Estado gi Estados Unidos. I administrasyon Leon Guerrero Tenorio sa mafama adyo na budget ni presidente sa proposo na parumanaso di abstinensya ni salapi i Medicaid ni parumanaadza i salapi ni parumanauhudzong taygui Estado siya. Iplano na na budget sa adbansa mo na lokwi inadyan ipumalo siya na programa tagi Supplemental Security Income pad SSI. Gusto niya i-budget ni Presidente para 2022 na sakan sa 6 trillion pesos po todo. Imas, masyatsataan masuseri Memorial Day Service gisimente dyan veterano gisa PT giagan Lunes. Isinangan ni Magahaga Luliang Guerrero binaban adyan na sa sedimento. Ilang yung magahaga na hita responsable para taon ray manmatay siya nagagando de exhibition militar. Ngaling niya na obligasyon ta na para ta assiste veterano siya. Dado na administrasyon niya sa continue at sumonikin na dalanto ni para ta setbi. Asangan na adil nebo na sibita ni para mahatsa sa para managwa sinangin na lugad para mafan matrakta at para maproteyes ti siya na tautawgi numasen na noong kantidad na sakripisyo. Maprotei libitata dyan ginafsagata, zapago taryata ni partana siguro na maresibi in nasisti dyan ni salud ni manisisita. Anak fakpo si Leon Guerrero kuntos niya, anya na ay sendang kulo na agradecimento para todi manggaygi gisibisyon ni militar. Iba sa sunto, Guam Environmental Protection Agency sa para ma-review report siya, para madetermina ko para maimbestiga yung similan niya ni masusedi gipangin Domingo giskill nursing facility. Itato Guam Fire Department saban marespondo guato guhin na lugar gisa barigada ane ma-report sumi gikasi las 10:30 gipaingi. Mareglay simi gilas 12:30 giagaan Lunes. Sigon ni Guam Memorial na sabitan masoda adyan na sumi gaji tangkin 50 galon gi emergency generator room. Estifinet na nabiyahe na guha sumi guihi sa may bisita gatay mano. Tawdat sinudan ginan na sa sedimento. Gimas sa tikulo Guam EPA sa manmanay notis ang kaniranta DC, dos na kumpanya ni Matsotso giparewa na lugar construction, JT Development sa ni Primus Heavy Equipment, sa manmanay citation para kaniranta DC ni Water Pollution Act sa ni Guam Water Quality Act. Inspector si Guam EPA sa mabisita sa agang construction gita Mangilaw. Asangan ni spokesman para GEPA si Nig Lee na aktibidad kinalamtin oda zan atso gibinedosa sa timatsuli lisensya. Datazar praktiko ni mas malig na minaneha. Manmaod din para manapare sa niya lumabisita tati lugar dos biyahe ni GEPA sa masoda na madisatendi ya zunay na din. Tori dos kompanya sa mafafana porsentu mit siya na minita. Mananangga ko para gwa apelasyon gi na din niya GEPA. Yuto mo, itempo ni para mas adelanto record siya gi Guam Veterans Affairs Office sa Tiaman Matu. Direktor de VA gwini si Tim Agon asangan na yung nakonformin niya sa ni opisina ni Veterans Affairs giza Utah sa sempyo mafit magi Medculis. Nasya ti Senclaru Special si Agon asangan na uno na parafu gi adso na kontrata sa nesesita marikla pero manat siguro na todi dos opisina kinubri. Nuriniport ni KUAM News si Utah na opisina sa bumalantaro por maajuday guahan na opisina ng veterano ma-digitize sa dyan na sistema minanehan record siya. Para Guam News Network, Guausikin Conception. Yasunto yung finut sa moro sa presenta sa ninafato ni Familia Mizo di First Hawaiian Bank.
Make sure you're connected, the writing's on the wall, 'cause if your mind's neglected, stumble you might fall.
Connection is a human necessity, one we need today more than ever. And with the new First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, you can stay just as connected to your finances. And it all starts with yes.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Tuesday morning here as you are heading into work or going around the island exercising. We do hope that you are safe. And the man with all the answers about what Mother Nature has in store for us. And Landon, I do apologize. I was out for a few days. I was doing the whole self-care thing. I was taking a much-needed break. I know you were on top of what the weather had in store for us because we had some really funky weather like the last week and a half, did we not?
Tropical systems in our area. One became Tropical Storm Choiwan, and the other one not so much. And I'm going to talk specifically about that one because we're looking at some potential for heavy weather over the Memorial Day weekend for us in Guam and Sinamai, and also those across Yap and Chuk states. Luckily, that one did not materialize quite as some of the models were expecting, and it became weaker and weaker, but still generated a lot of weather, including showers and thunderstorms across the Mariana Islands. But what did we have out there this morning? So before we go to the slides, let me show you what's out there on the satellite. This is the infrared satellite, which gives us a good continuous shot from over the equator in our region, showing us that stuff during the daytime and nighttime. So we're just seeing a little bit of clouds and stuff moving over the islands, but now that it's daytime, we do have some visible satellite coming through. And this is what we're looking at across Guam and the CNMI. We have some remaining showers related to that tropical disturbance that's now southwest of us near the main island of Yap. We have this cluster of showers moving inbound towards Rota and the Rota Channel area, but it's going to pass just south of Tinian and Saipan, but still with some spotty showers inbound to Saipan and Tinian, and then also for Guam. This will gradually cure out by the afternoon, evening hours with a drier week ahead. But where is that tropical disturbance? Well, that's down here near Yap. We have a large cluster of showers and thunderstorms dumping torrential rainfall, mainly out in the open ocean, but also bringing some showers and thunderstorms to Ulithi and Feist, and soon to Yap as it's moving out into the Philippine Sea. Will it redevelop in the coming week? That's a possibility. Right now, it's rated sub-low for development by the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, but it could still regenerate a better low-level circulation and maybe gain a little bit better shape and intensity in the coming days.
Yeah,
but
hey, Landon, quick question for the uninitiated,
Yes.
right? When you say torrential rainstorms and everything like that, because I noticed like when I was on break, I mean, it was a perfect time to go out and take pictures, but we didn't have like the sun showers like out here. We would have like heavy rain or light rain and just like overcast and clouds like throughout. When you say torrential showers and everything like that, are we talking like moody and dark skies all day?
Torrential, it's mainly the intensity. So you can get anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain or more in a very short period of time, like an hour or less. So yeah, this is the type of weather we can get with like tropical systems, even disturbances. So when we talk about impacts from weak disturbances, they're weak in terms of wind speed, but they can still dump a tremendous amount of rainfall in a short period of time. So if we have this disturbance moving over Guam and the CNMI, even though the winds are light with gusty winds from time to time, that rainfall can cause significant problems like flash flooding and stuff, particularly in the southern mountains of Guam and along the rivers and creeks. So it doesn't have to be a tropical storm. It doesn't have to have a name or be a typhoon to cause problems. A weak disturbance can cause some significant issues for folks under the gun. Now, farther west, that's our tropical storm Choi Wan, and it's struggling to maintain intensity right now. Yesterday, it was forecast to become a typhoon in the coming days. That has since changed. We can see that low-level circulation peaking out just north of the deep convection. That's being sheared in the upper levels of the atmosphere by strong winds pushing that convection toward the southwest. That's going to mitigate the development of Choi Wan in the near term, and it may help it reach its demise in the not too distant future. So that's what we're looking at. Otherwise, for the week ahead, a dry trade wind pattern. So go ahead and cue up the slides, Jason, and we'll talk about what we're going to be looking at. The main hazard we have in the region right now is the high risk of rip currents in place across Guam and the CNMI. That's going to continue through this afternoon, but a season surf fall as this disturbance pushes away, that rip risk will decrease as well. The next slide showing the current conditions. Temperatures are climbing as we go through the day. We only had a 1/4 inch of rain yesterday here at the weather office. That was below what we were saying was possible late last week. We were looking at the possibility of 2 to 4 inches, and by some standards, that was very conservative or a low biased amount for an inbound tropical disturbance. But as we see, that thing kept just to the south, keeping all the heavier showers just offshore and south of Guam. So that was the good news for us. For the month of May, we finished out with just over 7 inches of rain for the month, which is above normal for the month. And our record for the day was 2.5 inches, set all the way back in 2020, last year. So back to the rip currents, the next slide. This is for east-facing reefs of Guam and the CNMI. That's inclusive of areas east of Retidian Beach along Anderson Air Force Base, all the way down to Paget, Marbo, Pago Bay, Jess Pirates Cove, Telefofo, and down to Inarajan. So if you're hiking Paget Caves, don't be jumping off that cliff because those seas are still thrashing out there from the stronger winds that we've had the last several days. So that's going to be mellowing out in the days ahead. But stay out of the water along the east-facing reefs of Guam and the CNMI, at least through today, until things subside a little bit more. And again, the next slide shows if you're caught in the rip current, don't fight that current. Try to escape that current by moving parallel to the shore and wait for somebody to come rescue you, or else you break free of that current and then you swim back towards the beach. But of course, if you're in a current, that's going to carry you over the reef. So if you come back in, that means you're going to have to ride the waves in and fight that reef again. So you do not want to be out there. So when in doubt, don't go out. And so the next slide, that's the Joint Typhoon Warning Center page. We're watching Tropical Storm Choi Wan. That's our fourth warned on tropical cyclone of the year. We've had busier seasons. Think back to 2015, we had, I think, upwards of 12 or 13 storms by this point of the year. So we're looking about average right now. We'll have a tropical cyclone seasonal outlook coming up in the next 1 to 2 weeks. So I know there's been a lot of questions about if we'll be putting that out. So that'll be coming in the coming weeks. Next slide, Choi Wan. Where does that name originate from? And I want to see you out there in the audience. Type in your answers. What country does Choi Wan originate from? What does Choi Wan mean? And what is the next name of our next tropical cyclone?
Yeah, and no fair Googling,
Basin?
guys. use your intuition.
You cannot Google. So if I see correct answers, I know you Googled. So.
Okay, well,
yeah,
Landon, Chris is saying he thinks it may be a beef dish of some sort.
Well, we'll find out very shortly. I'll have that at the end of the slide with all the answers. So the next slide, that shows the polar orbiting satellite winds over the ocean. We have that 90W sitting just north of Yap. Very weak winds at the circulation center, but the stronger winds near Guam and the CNMI, that's where we have those high risk of rip currents. There's moderate 20 to 25 knot winds just south of Guam and elsewhere 15 to 20 knot winds. That will all subside, especially the farther north you go in the CNMI, much lighter winds across the northern islands north of Saipan. And that'll continue for the rest of the week. And then we're going to see combined seas fall to between 3 and 5 feet. Tropical storm Choi Wan off near Mindanao. So I'm going to talk about the buoys. Last week, we were looking at on Friday, a major sea and surf event based on the models picking up on 90W near Chuk. That mellowed out. And so this is one of those examples that in the days leading up to the passage of a tropical system, the models get better information and better feel for things. So even when you're 3 days out, there could be some major differences between which model you're looking at and then what reality will ultimately become. So we were looking at on Friday, seas approaching 13 feet along eastern Guam. It really mellowed out and became around 7 to 8 feet. And so this is what we have to take in on a daily basis. This is why we monitor things 24/7 here at the Weather Service, because we want to have the most reliable, accurate information based off of forecast models and the observational data that's available in our region. So the next slide, combined seas of 5 to 7 feet today. That will be comprised primarily of an east swell. That's all going to be subsiding as we go through the next several days. So really not bad in the week ahead. And the final slide, kind of a return back to the dry trade wind season. The winds will be moderate around 10 to 15 by midweek. They'll be subsiding, as well as the rip risk that'll be falling later this evening to moderate. And the weather forecast, not bad this week. So get out, do some yard work. If you have time to do my yard, I've been so busy for the last 6 months. I don't have grass. I have trees growing. It's a full-blown safari surrounding my house at this point. So I need help. But the next slide, do you have the answers? And are they correct?
Okay, well, so Chris was way off.
Well, Hong Kong, that's where Choi Wan originates from. And what does it mean? It's a colorful cloud. And you can definitely see that in the infrared satellite imagery showing those vivid colors. But of course, we can change that with our color scale in our systems. And the next name of our next tropical cyclone, well, that comes from Japan. And I need to talk to my sister-in-law who speaks Japanese. and figure out how to pronounce that.
I think that would be
system.
I think that would be Koguma.
That would be my guess.
Koguma,
and that
yeah.
sounds pretty good. So that's all I have for you today.
Interesting. Wow. So yeah. So Lennon, in years past we've had weather formations named after people. They've been objects or like things like that. How do you guys actually determine like what the schedule is for picking names? And I know you guys kind of like work with themes like every few years, and then you had female names in the past, and then it went to like guys' names, because I remember Typhoon Jack back when I was in high school. And
yeah, back when the Joint Typhoon Warning Center had the naming rights in the West Pacific region, that's when they were stationed here on Guam. You remember my predecessor, Chip Guard, he was once the director of the Joint Typhoon Warning Center here on Guam. That's when we had names like Pamela, Bob, Omar, JTIC. They named
Roy.
the storms. Yeah, those are the easy ones.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now it's a part of the World Meteorological Organization. So we're part of the UN's Typhoon Committee. And so it's a collaboration of 14 Pacific Basin countries who we meet every year through meetings and committees and conferences to discuss things all about disaster risk reduction, typhoons, research, and names.
Yeah,
so the group gets together and each country submits a list of 5 names. And for any storm that causes significant casualty or destruction in the land area, that name gets retired, much as it does by the National Hurricane Center of the Atlantic, and then it gets replaced by that country who owns that name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, we had the original Karen, right?
Yes. Yeah. Don't be a Karen.
I know, don't be a Karen.
In the weather context, or in
Right,
let's get aggro about everything in the world.
It's so interesting to me that we have like Pong Sung Hwa, right? Isn't that a type of flower?
I believe so. I have to look that back up.
Right. Yeah.
And I forget where that comes from.
So it's almost
I
like
think it was North Korea.
With this new naming system, the like prettier the name, the more damaging the storm is going to be.
Like dolphin.
Right.
Typhoon dolphin.
Yeah. And when you think of dolphins, you think of like, nice, friendly,
intelligent creatures. And
right. Yeah. All right, Landon, appreciate your time. And I don't know if we're still looking bad by Friday. Maybe you can jump on again. We don't mind getting you twice a week.
Well, we look good for Friday, but one thing, I'll be putting this out later too. This is a public information statement. June 1st, it's a very special day for us in the world of weather on Guam. This is the start of Typhoon Preparedness Month. So join the Weather Service and Guam Homeland Security. We'll be with the governor on the Facebook page at 10:30 this morning for a proclamation signing declaring Typhoon Preparedness Month. We're going to have a lot of information coming out from our office as well as Guam Homeland Security, all about preparedness, typhoons, tropical cyclones, all the good stuff.
All right. Thank you, Landon.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
There you go, Landon Idlet. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, and we're coming back with John Beneventia, the Guam Power Authority, next right here on The Link. Good morning.
At Jack in the Box, I baked cheddar directly.
Family platter of fried chicken? Check. Tray of red rice?
Check.
Birthday cake?
Check.
1 case of water?
Check.
12-pack of beer?
Check.
2 cases of Pepsi?
Check.
When you have a long checklist but are short on time, we got you. Get it delivered by us. Order on the app or website at uno-go.com. Guam on demand.
Shoot, I forgot the paper product.
Oh wait, UnoGo has that too. KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time each Friday to talk food, taste food, and bring you all the latest and greatest in food from King's Restaurants and Ruby Tuesday Guam, old faves, new hits, and everything on the menu in between. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link. UnoGo, delivering meals from your favorite restaurants and more, including delivering sodas and adult beverages from the Bottle Shack. Visit uno-go.com or download the app today. Also follow them on Instagram and Facebook. Join us each week for Talking Shop Tuesdays on The Link. With more restrictions lifted, our community is back out and about. And getting a little retail therapy has never been more needed. Tune in every Tuesday morning to The Link, where Chris, Sabrina, and Jason will talk shop with local businesses about products now available, new items hitting the shelves, and old favorites that are back and ready for you to purchase. It's Talking Shop Tuesdays on The Link, brought to you by your friends at Pacific Grocers. Brands you trust by people you trust.
June makes the best malasadas in Hawaii, a fact not lost on Daryl, whose brother Byron is cooking the onaga he caught at his secret fishing spot with his girlfriend Malia, who used to work for the Shave Ice Guy, whose second cousin Vince drives the school bus ridden by Calais, whose auntie makes the best malasadas in Hawaii. Everything here is connected, and with the new First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, you can stay just as connected to your finances, and it all starts with yes.
After a year with so many games and events delayed or unplayed, the world is ready for anything and everything in the world of sports. KUAM Communications is ready with more games, more championships, and more specials that are guaranteed to bring out the fan in you. Don't miss a minute of gameplay from NBC on KUAM TV 8 or from CBS on KUAM TV 11. Every month, we'll bring you the action and excitement. Brought to you locally by Michelob Ultra, Superior Light Beer, Marianas Irrigation and Landscape, and Docomo Pacific. Just more great reasons to tune in and turn on, so you'll fall in love with TV again with the best from KUAM Communications.
Headed down south to the land of the pine, thumbing my way into North Carolina, staring down the road and pray to God I see headlights. I made it down the coast in 17 hours, picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers. I'm hoping for Raleigh I could see my baby tonight. But so rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me.
Joe Guam, Wagon Wheel. It's the old Bob Dylan song. 8:39. Let's head to the Zoom room where D-Day has arrived. Disconnection Day for the Guam Power Authority. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about some other things, but we do have the GM of GPA, John Beneventi, joining us in the KUAM News Zoom room. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chris.
I'm going to make sure I call you sir because we're doing the disconnections. Oh, boy.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. John, this was kind of a tough decision for you guys, though, right?
Yes, Chris. I mean, since the pandemic came on in March of last year, we stopped disconnection, and we've been doing it that all to this time. And then, so as much as we work to try and help our customers during this difficult time, we also have to come at a point to start getting back to normal. So again, we continue to work with customers, and part of even though we're starting disconnection June 1st, which is today, we do have, several ways that we put together to help employees further. And if you recall, for several months now, we've been saying, come in and make a payment arrangement if you're delinquent. And that's about 7% of our customers, probably about 3,500 customers. So what's going to happen, what's happening today is those that are in prepaid we have two types of customers, prepaid and postpaid. Prepaid are those that it's like the prepaid phone. You load in $20 and you use that energy until it warns you when you're going to run out, and then you add in another 20. And we have about 1,000 of those customers. And then postpaid is basically everyone else that gets bill, and then if they pay 30 or 45 days later. So for the prepaid, they actually start today. So they have to put in their, what for energy, plus there's the debt recovery plan for them for postpaid, if you have a balance there today, then what's going to happen is that's going to be divided into 12 months. And of course, those that are regularly paying, they could continue to do so. We hope they do. But those that are delinquent or seriously delinquent, I mean, everyone will, but those most especially seriously delinquent, who have that balance divided by 12, and then they have to pay their regular bill plus that balance. Otherwise, disconnection will occur. So that's we're back to the normal process, but we're trying to also alleviate the difficulty, the challenges that everyone that has been delinquent by helping them in this way.
So do you guys anticipate doing any actual disconnections today, John?
I'm not a betting man, but well, maybe I am a little bit, but there could be somebody disconnected today if they didn't load up their prepaid account. Most likely those that are postpaid, it's going to take a little bit more time before we get that, because we're gonna divide that by 12, and then when their billing comes, that's when it starts. So in the before the pandemic, that when your bill doubles up, that's about time that you're gonna get shut off, right? Although that's not really unpublished, you could almost gather that from experience, no?
So just for clarification, we're talking about 3,500 customers, whether they're prepaid or postpaid, that are up for disconnection?
Well, they're delinquent, no? Depending, they won't be up for disconnection until, for example, the postpaid, right? They have a regular bill, plus the balance is divided by 12. And that's added to the regular bill, and that's what they must pay. Otherwise, they will face delinquent on the time frame that they're informed. No?
Okay, so about 3,500 customers that are considered delinquent.
Yes, about 3,500 are delinquent. No?
Any government of Guam agencies that are delinquent?
Basically, the government of Guam are up to date. Maybe one or two that we work with them. But basically, throughout this whole period, the government has been paying their bills. DOE, they have been behind 1 or 2 months, but then we worked it all out with them. No, so there's no one that's seriously delinquent in the government of Guam.
What about ERA? The ERA funds. How many ratepayers have taken advantage of that program and that have been paid?
I'm not sure how many total has applied, but I'm aware this morning that about 90 so far has been approved and has been paid. And again, those that are have applied, you can always check with us whether that was paid by the ERA funds, or if you're trying to keep track, you can always contact us with that also, because we're in close contact with the Department of Administration on all of that. So again, if that's coming in, and then we'll hold back on what's necessary. We're not, what do you call it? Especially when we're working things out, then we're not that quick on the button. No? It's those that really have not made any effort throughout all this period of time that we've been asking for an arrangement. So sometimes you need to do that to bring them in. No? So hopefully no one gets disconnected and we just move forward. And again, that was part of our plan. Is really, there's no use trying to make everybody pay their bill or their delinquent in one day. That's not unrealistic. No? So we broke it up into a 12-month arrangement. And from there, customers can, again, work with us on what they could afford within reasonable terms. No? If they owe $5,000 and they say I can only pay $10, of course, that's unreasonable. In the first place, that's a responsible thing. They shouldn't be using $5,000 worth of energy. But again, that's probably the extreme. No?
Yeah, well, like you mentioned, there are all these options that GPA and GWA has made available for people to make arrangements, right? Have people actually been taking advantage of that?
Yes, there's been quite a few. In fact, I'm seeing the lobby downstairs when I walk in a lot busier than usual. We remember over the past week or so, a little longer, both power, water, even Department of Administration were going out to the villages, no? Trying to get everyone to go there and do that. And those that could apply and qualify for DOA, do that application so that we work real hard to get customers to make that arrangement. So I see the lobby a lot busier than usual this morning, and I hope that's a good indication that we can take care of our customers without having to push the button. No? Because if customers are not aware, really, residential customers and all of that, we can just push the button from the computer, whether it's here at home or somewhere else, no, and disconnect. At the same token, when they do make a payment or do make an arrangement, the reconnection is almost immediate. You don't have to wait for somebody to go out to make that reconnection. Commercial is a little more difficult because they're higher energy meters. However, for residentials and all, we can turn on and turn off within an instance their energy. No? So the good news is once they pay, we can immediately turn them back on.
Have you had any other discussions with the governor regarding the possibility of not having to implement this LEAC adjustment in August, the $57 a month increase? Because that's a pretty big chunk of change there, $57 for a community that's still struggling.
On the LEAC process, since last year in the pandemic, we've been working real hard to keep rates down. And in fact, we've put forward $30 million in cash from the utility, from the self-insurance fund, from reduction in capital improvements, and also just from our working capital, a line of credit, if you will, for our utility, not to keep things operating. So it's been really, again, the oil prices came down last year, around March to May. However, since then, it's been rising in a 45-degree angle all the way up to where it is today. So the difference now is we went from last year in February, we went from a 15.4 cents down to 13, then to 11, then to 8.6, all within a 6-month period. And then we held at 8.6 throughout this period until about earlier this year when we brought it up to 11 because of the really steep increase in fuel. Unfortunately, now that's put us in by this July, will be $30 million under recovered. And there's not that much more cash to maintain, to be able to buy the oil tankers, because now a tanker of fuel will cost about $20 million. So we have to collect and we have to pay. So again, now, for example, what is that recovery over just to get us back to where we're paying what is recovering our past advances, just to get us back to where we're just covering the fuel. That's about a $30 million for 6 months, So when you trying to alleviate that, that's a big chunk, just for 6 months period of time. So these are what's before us now. The governor has shown an indication that she'll look at it because we do have, we have meetings that occur between ourselves. But again, we're going through the process. We'll see what the CCU has already approved the 16.7 cents. And now it goes to the PUC, and I gather that they will decide that towards the end of July in their July July meeting. to be effective August 1st. So once the numbers are all there, then the governor can take a look whether she could alleviate or mitigate. Might be a huge scenario, because just a year's worth of this is 60 million. 2 years is 120 million, just to get back to where we are. See?
But,
So that's
but
before
John,
you know it, all of that money is gone. But again, that's not my call.
yeah, I mean,
that would be.
it's just that there's 3,500 you said that are behind in paying their bills. The economy is not doing so great. We've got a 19% unemployment rate. I don't even know. I don't think anybody's getting raises unless you work at Adeloop. Who can afford this?
Well, that's where consumption has to come back. But no matter what, we also as a utility, have to keep operating. We have to be financially stable. We have bond obligations. We have bond covenants. No,
yeah.
If we're not, then we're gonna go from back. Really, we're very fortunate that we're financially still sound, and we were able to advance all of this cash throughout the period. But we can degrade much more from where we are. Otherwise, we will now begin to feel the impact. So, again, we will work with the PUC. We will work with the administration to see how we can potentially alleviate the impact. But the first step is really everyone understanding what is zero, what is recovery, what is costing us 16 cents for fuel now. So let's just get to 16 cents. If not, we're gonna continue to have to look the cash somewhere else, no? And again, that's not even counting the revenue we lost. That for us, we cut back all our costs, no? I'm not sure whether you're aware that we used to have 512 employees in Guam Power Authority. We're down to about 437 now. So you see, it has been continually trying to cut costs in the utility to be able to put ourselves in this position. No?
Oh, it's tough.
Yeah, this stuff, it's not. But again, I can assure you, we'll continue to work with everyone. And so right now, the time frame is that the PUC's final decision, or is usually the last week of July is when they have their board meeting. So we have this month and early July to see where that may help. What could be done to, again, I think everyone wants to try and continue to help our consumers in Guam, because again, we're rolling out in the pandemic, but we're still not we're back to normal.
I did have a couple other questions. Do you have any update on that fire at Cabris from a few weeks ago?
Yes, we're expect to have Cabris back on the line in about 2 weeks. We did. There was the panel box that had a fire, but when they secured the unit, there was also another one that happened on the Arpa heater. Fortunately for us, we have all the parts and equipment and all of that. The panel boxes, I think, should be about done already. The Arpa heater work continues on, and the target is June 14 to be back on the line. We've also lost one unit, the Zico CT, subsequent to that. And now I'm in the process to try and bring in a exchange combustion turbine to get that. So the combination of the two has put us in a precarious position. However, so far we've been holding our own, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed, of course, that we get Cabris number 1 back. Which, again, there's no doubt in my mind it will come back, knowing what has happened and knowing how much work is being done today. So we'll be on schedule to be back on the 14th. and then that would help us with that. No.
Was the Cabris one fire? Is that what triggered the situation in Jigo?
No.
No. Okay, it
It's a
was two
different
separate
situation.
incidents.
The one in Jigo is let me put it this way: the one in Jigo, we have a combustion turbine that every day is put on the line, which is not normal. But I think there's muting, no? But what happened here is what happened in 2015 and 2016. A lot of renewables started coming on the line. Renewables are very intermittent in the daytime. When the cloud cover comes over, they just drop load. Whenever they drop load, the combustion turbine has to come up. So that unit is like this every day, stress, no? So it's been running like 20,000 hours almost every day, half a day in the daytime when the renewables are running. And so it fell. And so now we're replacing it. The good news is that we have batteries now. We dedicated the new batteries that has begun operating since March 1st. And that is the one now that's taking the intermittency up. That is really a lot faster, and now less stress on moving parts and moving equipment. In addition to that, there's less outages as a result of the new batteries being on the line. Used to be anytime we lose a generator or we have a big drop in solar production, maybe 3, 4, 5, as much as 14 and one-time feeders will trip for about 5, 10, 15 minutes. Then we put them back, and again to avoid the blackout. So you're not seeing much of that anymore. In fact, I think there was only one time, and it was like 3 feeders in the past 2.5 months. No, so that's the batteries are going to help us and all that. But I have to get Jigo repaired, and so the PUC approved a $6 million budget for that, and I'm in the process of getting that done now, so that we, the new power plan has been delayed from October 2022 to November, best case November 2023 or April 2024. Again, from the pandemic and other reasons, no. So therefore, the next few years is going to be challenging for us, and we've always said that. But now, that's why we're doing everything we can to make sure every machine is available when it goes down or for whatever reason. No? So, but there is a low growth occurring on the island, and a lot of houses going up. The military is building up. We need the new power plant in all certain terms, and when that comes on the line, then we're going to be we'll have a lot of reserve to handle.
So
and
John,
not only that, it'll be a lot more reliable. No?
John, just to go back to the Cabris fire, how much in damage was estimated?
Probably in terms of damage and stuff, probably had less than $500,000. The air preheater is like 288,000 for the parts and stuff.
And also, I wanted to follow up on the investigation that you were conducting into allegations of online gambling amongst employees.
Yes, I'm done with that investigation, and the issue has resolved that issue within ourselves. Our internal auditor went through the process, and first and foremost, none of them are involved with the gambling scheme, if you will. 2, yes, they're innocent, I would say innocent participants in the process, trying the app and doing all of that. They did not use GPA personal equipment to do that. Of course, it's all on their personal phones. Then last but not least, we do have a regulation that says utilizing gambling on government facilities is subject to some action. And so they have done that. There's less than 5 people that have done this, have taken the action. I've issued them a letter of warning, understanding the situation, and therefore, then I've also sent a letter of caution to all employees of Guam Power Authority to make sure that they are fully aware that this type of situations are not warranted, no, and action could be taken. So I've done that, and then I followed up with a letter to Senator Rizal, letting him know what we have done.
Mm-hmm. So you said less than 5 people, or 5 people issued this letter of
Less than
caution?
5. I think 3. I'm sure 3. I think 5, and I can get that to you later. But it's less than 5.
Mm-hmm. And so no administrative action or anything like that. Just a letter of warning.
Administrative action, you have depending on the degree, you have certain actions you can take, and we have personal rules and regulations that delineate the different type of actions and the severity of it. And so the various action, this one is a letter of warning and so on. So if it was really something, it was, because those regulations were basically done before you even had online gambling, right? So if there were people gambling at the facility and blah blah blah, that kind of stuff, that would have warranted a different, more severe, penalty. No?
Were you ever contacted by the Secret Service, John?
Nope, not to this day. Just like I mentioned the last time. So no,
just checking.
Nothing. Yep. And so again, they've been issued a letter of warning, which goes into their file, and then the others, of course, I caution everybody because again, I think innocently, from what I could see, they got involved in a situation, not thinking it's anything that could lead to something serious. No.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for your time, John.
Thank you very much. Again, keep safe and good luck and everything. Take care, okay?
Yes, John Benavente, Guam Power Authority. We're going to Inalahan right after the break, right here on the link. Good morning.
KUAM's multi-platform. Join us each week for Talking Shop Tuesdays on The Link. With more restrictions lifted, our community is back out and about. And getting a little retail therapy has never been more needed. Tune in every Tuesday morning to The Link, where Chris, Sabrina, and Jason will talk shop with local businesses about products now available, new items hitting the shelves, and old favorites that are back and ready for you to purchase. It's Talking Shop Tuesdays on The Link. Brought to you by your friends at Pacific Grocers. Brands you trust by people you trust. KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time each Friday to talk food, taste food, and bring you all the latest and greatest in food from King's Restaurants and Ruby Tuesday Guam, old faves, new hits, and everything on the menu in between. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link.
Family platter of fried chicken?
Check.
Tray of red rice?
Check.
Birthday cake?
Check.
1 case of water?
Check.
12-pack of beer?
Check.
2 cases of Pepsi?
Check. When you have a long checklist but are short on time, we got you. Get it delivered by us. Order on the app or website at uno-go.com. Guam On Demand.
Shoot, I forgot the paper product.
Oh wait, UnoGo has that too.
June makes the best malasadas in Hawaii. A fact not lost on Darrow, whose brother Byron is cooking the onaga he caught at his secret fishing spot with his girlfriend Malia, who used to work for the Shave Ice Guy, whose second cousin Vince drives the school bus ridden by Calais, whose auntie makes the best malasadas in Hawaii. Everything here is connected, and with the new First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, you can stay just as connected to your finances, and it all starts with yes.
Welcome back, everybody. Coming to you live from beautiful Harmon, Guam. We are The Link. Jason Salas, Chris Barnett, Sabrina Salas Matanani, and Joe Sir doing all the technical work behind up here in the northern part of the island. But we want to take you about 17-ish miles down to the beautiful southern end of the island, where we're going to check in with our friends at Inarahan Middle School, who have a wonderful new mural. So good morning to Liza Castro and Angela Anderson, who are joining us.
Morning. Good morning.
Half a day. And Liza, you have a special surprise guest too. Who do you have with you?
Good morning. So this is Lisa Castro. I'm the school librarian and PTO president at Inarahan Middle School. And this morning we have Mr. Derek Santos, our school principal, joining us.
Buenas.
Good morning, Mr. Santos. How are you today?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Biba Inalahan, first of all. We can never get tired of saying that. We always enjoy catching up with our friends.
Viva, thank you for having us.
Okay, and I'm glad you both have that is just a gorgeous mural. Lisa and Mr. Santos are there in person. Angela has it as her virtual background, and I'm sure, Angela, your WhatsApp is blowing up right now. People are saying, can I please have that? I want it for my Zoom calls. So can you tell us, like obviously it is it's a Chamorro warrior on the sea. It's a beautiful depiction. But kind of tell us, what brought it about, how it was created, and, and what it means to the community.
Okay, well, it's kind of one of those situations where the stars just aligned for us. A couple years ago, I started to notice all the murals going up on island. Then I realized they were all central and northern. You don't really see any down south. And so ending of last school year, I tried to reach out to some artists, and I came across Lee Nicholas, who I realized a lot of the work that I liked was all done from Lee. So I got his information on Instagram. I emailed him. Quite frankly, didn't expect to hear anything. And sure enough, he emailed back in a few days and said he was interested, wanted to come down to the school and take a look. And the minute he saw this wall, he said, that's iconic. I want to do a piece there. And so from there, it just became funding. Where do we get funding for this? And one day I was talking to my friend who just so happened to work at Gita, and I said, man, do you know any, businesses we can find to sponsor this project I want to do at school? And she told me, she said, why don't you look at our QCCC grant? QCCC, yes. And it's for nonprofit agencies. And I said, well, our PTO is a registered nonprofit. So we looked into it. I got with the PTO and everyone was on board. So I helped them apply. And I really want to commend Gita. They did an excellent job at making this process so user-friendly. This was all during the pandemic. So everything was done online. All the questions you needed answered were there. They really did a great job.
It is breathtaking, absolutely. Well, let's go to Mr. Santos and Lisa right now and say, how much input did you have, if any, on exactly what you were doing? Because I'm looking at behind you, and that is 2 stories of Chamorro strength right there. It is absolutely stunning. Did you guys say, I want a specific picture, or did you just say, go with what you feel?
Well, it basically had to be relevant to our mascot. We are the Warriors, and our teams are made of chiefs. You have Gada, Kapua, and Choku, and Horao. And so we just wanted to make sure that it represented what we are down here at IMS. And this was a very nice project that Mr. Nicholas did. So we're very happy.
Yeah, Lee came up with the design on his own. He gave it to us, and we said, looks great, go with it. So that was all Lee coming up with that.
Right, and as you can see, there's a statue very similar down in the Inalahan village, and this is the legend of the 2 chiefs it was a contest of strength, and they got in the paddle and they rowed in different directions, and they were both so strong that the Galati actually broke in half, and so you can see that in the mural. This is great.
It's so colorful too.
Yeah.
I mean, it stands out in such a positive way. I mean, you got the blue sky behind you, and obviously, you've got the wonderful colors of, like the surrounding.
The sunset.
Yeah.
A little bit of sunset going on too.
How has it been received so far? By the faculty, and I'm sure students have seen it. The parents and the village in general.
You guys go with that. Okay, I think we recently just had our 8th grade pro and go, and many of the parents, we received messages from them that they were so happy with the way it went, and they were so thrilled when they were able to make a stop at the end of their go and pro parade and take pictures here on the stage with
of our village chief, Chief Godal, here at school. So it really gives, it really adds to that sense of pride and identity for our school.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, before we let you go, I just got to ask, and please be honest here, because we believe in transparency here on the link. How many selfies have you taken with yourself in front of that? Be honest.
Have you two? Yeah,
Well,
Mr. Sanchez likes to take selfies.
No, no. A lot of our teachers and students, they come by and they take pictures. Even several of the senators have come by and taken pictures.
Wow.
So it's really nice to know that they like what we have here at IMS.
Right on.
We have had some visitors or passerbys, and some people actually made the trip down to Inarahan Middle School, just to get on campus to take pictures of this mural.
Right.
So it's been a wonderful impact.
I can totally see it.
It's open to everyone.
Right. I could see people going on the stairs there and taking a selfie from that, right? Or maybe getting their picture taken
Absolutely.
by someone.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we got to go. We just wanted to come down and make it worth our gas money to get you guys on real quick.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
That's
very
that.
much.
Okay. Biba and Alahan. Right on.
Viva. Thanks, everybody.
Right on.
Okay, and you know what, guys? We are going to stay on the art theme right now because a local artist, someone who has her roots here on island, recently participated in a Honolulu festival celebrating Micronesian culture. And she is a gifted artist herself. I've known her parents for many, many years, Art and Serena Mariano. But we have Aubrey Mariano here. Aubrey, Hapaday, good morning.
Hapaday, Jason. Hapaday, good morning. Thank you for having me.
So good to see you. So, you featured your art exhibit, Daughters of Micronesia and everything. And obviously there's a lot of that's a lot of different cultures, a lot of tradition, a lot of history, and also a lot of pride. So, maybe tell me a little bit about the event and how you went about, setting up your exhibit.
Sure. So it wasn't my exhibit. Casey Bijado, I'm not sure if you know of the late and great Mr. Chris Bijado. He was my uncle.
Very good friend of ours.
Yes. So Casey is the daughter of Uncle Chris Bijado, and she was the curator of the exhibit. She works with the Bishop Museum. And so the event itself was the Celebrate Micronesia Festival, which took place at the Bishop Museum here in Honolulu. And Casey was the curator of the Daughters of Micronesia exhibit. And it just so happened that she had shared an appreciation for my art, particularly the pieces that I had made using traditional Chamorro symbols and traditional Micronesian symbols. So she reached out to me and asked if I would participate alongside not only other female Chamorro artists from Guam, such as Arisa Barcinas and Eliana Koshibo, who's actually from Palau and Pohnpei, but she graduated from Academy, but many other beautiful, intelligent, talented Chamorro, or not just Chamorro, but Micronesian artists as well.
Okay, how was the, obviously you have Guam in your heart and you want to go over there and represent, like our people and our culture and everything, but these exhibits are so wonderful because it's not a competition at all. I mean, it's a celebration of diversity and the things that we all have in common, and yet the things that make us different. So how was Guam represented there overall, and what did it mean to you to kind of be like an ambassador of who we are and, to bring the 671 out to the 808?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think Guam was very well represented. I mean, the head of the festival was Dr. Mary Perez Hattori, who is an incredibly gifted and well-known professor out here at UH. And we had poets from Guam, and a couple of, Arisa did a weaving piece for the exhibit where she wove with, it looked like coconut leaves, a couple of azuzu coming out of their shells. So that was very exciting. And then Eliana Koshiba, she's actually Palauan, so she was able to exhibit. She made a beautiful painting of a traditional Palauan woman in her wear for the post-birth ceremony that I think we've all kind of seen.
Oh, for the hot bath.
Yes, for the hot bath, yes. So Guam was very well represented. We actually had my good friend Heather Garrido, who is getting her master's in Pacific Island Study, doing weaving demonstrations alongside Arisa at their own weaving booth. So it was very fun. I mean, we got to have some of our friends who we've met out here. I got to teach them a centipede. That's where my weaving knowledge stops. And then I actually got to learn how to weave my first katupat. So that was a lot of fun as well.
I could never get that. The katupat, I mean, it's so small, and obviously like it's something that our people use to, preserve rice and everything. It's so hard to get right. I've tried that at least a dozen times over the years.
You know, I did a couple and I was very excited, but Heather made sure and she sat me down and she said, okay, well, you're going to do it a few more times before we leave. Otherwise, you're going to forget. And so I think I've got it down at this point. We'll see. I sent pictures to my family and they're all very excited. I said, next time I'm home, we can weave some ketupat at hinapsan and maybe we'll try cooking it in coconut milk or something.
I don't know if your dad and I ever tried like making a ketupat when we were playing volleyball together for Piva, but you know, maybe when we get together and, you know, celebrate Old Timers Day, we can try that.
Maybe I can, if I remember, hopefully I'll be able to teach him.
There you go. But, you know, Aubrey, and the medium that you chose to work in with this is you were capturing, through ceramics, you were doing some of the Chamorro, Ipao, and the Laddie period pieces. So how is working with ceramics as an artist and everything like that, and what opportunities does it present to you, as well as like some of the challenges?
Yes, so ceramics, you know, I've experimented with many different mediums throughout my short lifetime. I used to shoot with Expression Studio. I did photography for a while, but ceramics has by far been the most therapeutic and most healing medium I've ever worked with. I'd say the aspect that I love most about ceramics is how it really teaches you to just release and let go, because I mean, you can work as hard as you'd like to improve your skills, but there are so many steps in the process when it comes to ceramics where a piece can go completely awry. You can have this idea in your head, and by the end, maybe you have a happy accident, or maybe you have something that is just a good lesson. You get to toss it aside and try with the next one. And there's a joke within the ceramics community that you can, you know, you have an idea, you have a plan, you learn as much as you can to try and execute a piece, and then you put it in the kiln, and you leave it up to the kiln gods, because sometimes some of the things that come out of it, you're like, wow, how did this happen? But all right, happy accident, or let's try again. And so that's one of the things that I appreciate most about ceramics, is that quality of just having to release. And you know, you can of course you can attempt to learn and improve on your technique, which is what I've been doing for the past 2 years since I started. But there's just some aspect of surrender involved in ceramics, which I really love.
All right. Well, Aubrey, we're going to go do some research and find out who the patron saint of making sure your ceramic project is done in an effective way. But can you let people know, before I let you go, where they can find you on social media? Yeah. Can you let people know where they can find you on social media before we let you go?
Oh, sure. So I just recently started my ceramics Instagram. I go by Sagua Ceramics. So that's SAGUA. And you can find me there. And then my personal Instagram is ay.mariano.
All right. Well, Aubrey Younger Mariano, you know, thank you so much for sharing your talent and your passion for representing Guam, and great job.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
All right. Likewise. And stay safe out there. All right. We are going to take a break, everybody. More of The Link awaits you after this break.
Right on.
Join us each week for Talking Shop Tuesdays on The Link. With more restrictions lifted, our community is back out and about. And getting a little retail therapy has never been more needed. Tune in every Tuesday morning to The Link, where Chris, Sabrina, and Jason will talk shop with local businesses about products now available, new items hitting the shelves, and old favorites that are back and ready for you to purchase. It's Talking Shop Tuesdays on The Link. Brought to you by your friends at Pacific Grocers. Brands you trust by people you trust. KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time each Friday to talk food, taste food, and bring you all the latest and greatest in food from King's Restaurants and Ruby Tuesday Guam, old faves, new hits, and everything on the menu in between. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link. Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage, with generations of Filipinos calling Guam home. KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by the Bank of Guam and KFC.
Yeah.
I'ma spread my wings. I'ma spread my wings.
9:22. Hey, we want to welcome our friends at Pacific Grocers to our Link family of sponsors, giving us great opportunity to really showcase Sabrina's cooking talents.
Whatever.
So we're doing this Talking Shop Tuesday.
Non-existent?
No, wait, you schooled me on this one.
Whatever.
Apple cranberry treat tarts. What did you call it?
Why don't we
Turnovers.
have the Link fan be the judge?
Okay, go ahead.
Because we have two amazing pieces, both from our esteemed host here.
Right.
There were no parameters in what you guys actually had to make, right? It's just like go with what.
Free for all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think let's go set some ground rules, and we'll turn this into kind of like a challengey kind of thing for next Tuesday, right?
Okay. Leave it to you to create a tale of the tape for a cooking
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
A challengey kind of thing.
Yeah. So anyway, Pacific Grocers, we just want you to join us each week for Talking Shop Tuesdays on the Link. Now, with more restrictions lifted, our community is back out and about, and getting a little retail therapy has never been more needed. Check us every Tuesday morning on the Link, where Sabrina, Jason, and I will talk shop with local businesses about products now available, new items hitting the shelves, and old favorites that are back and ready for you to purchase. It's Talk Shop Tuesdays on the Link, brought to you by your friends at Pacific Grocers, brands you trust.
Talking Shop Tuesdays on the Link, brought to you by your friends at Pacific Grocers, brands you trust by people you trust.
And we'll start with Sabrina. Sabrina, go ahead.
Yeah, so I used the Armor Luncheon Meat Treat Light, and I wanted to make something sweet and something savory. So I made a apple cranberry treat turnover, and there's a little bit of cream cheese in the middle.
Okay, I don't know if my new glasses are fogging just because of the mask and I haven't figured out, or because your thing sounds so delicious.
Well,
it was delicious. My son just ate practically the whole thing.
Wow.
Thanks, Brock.
Let's go here. Talk Shop Tuesdays with Sabrina's treat recipe on the Link.
Turnover.
Turnovers.
Just reduce the number of words you have to use. Just say awesome.
Yeah.
I made awesome.
That
Would you
was-
like to have a piece of awesome?
That was great use of the puff pastry too, Bree. That stuff's hard. Sometimes it gets stuck together. Good job. Why did you come up with that recipe? I'm curious.
Like I said, I wanted something sweet and
Yeah.
savory, and apple turnovers don't seem like they're too difficult to make. So why not throw in some treat into it?
Which of the treats did you use?
I used the light.
Okay.
And you know what I think is so poetically perfect? The fact that your son ate the entire batch, right?
He did. Tyler ate. She tried one. And
Oh.
she liked it.
So
That-
fittingly,
Yeah. Okay. Now that was a problem because I wasn't sure if this. I was thinking like, are we supposed to bring this stuff in?
Mhm.
Because both of our dishes were so good, they all got eaten.
so Bree, fittingly, the turnover rate of your dish is 100%.
Right on. Thanks, Jay.
Yes.
All right. So I did a little dish with treat 2, and I used the treat. It was the treat, and then it's got the chicken. It's pork and chicken.
Ah.
And I mean, it's really great product. And I'll go ahead and
In a tank top, no
yeah.
less.
I was hanging around the house. It's a holiday. Here you go. Nothing fancy, guys. I'm kind of inspired by this. You ever try these Korean seafood pancakes where it's kind of like a pancake, but then they got a bunch of seafood in there? I was thinking I'm gonna do something like that, but we'll just call it a treat food pancake. And so it's really simple. I got my pancake mix right here. I got some eggs because I want to get some scrambled eggs in there. I got a little green onion, and of course, the main ingredient, I got my treat right here. Got that treat in the pan. Treating this pan with some treat right now, my treat. You know, one cool thing about this treat, it's a real treat because it gets pretty crispy. Look at that. Wow. All right, we got our treat. Nice and geese it up, a little bit of green onion in there, and then I made some scrambled eggs right on the side here. We have our pancake batter, pan, ready to go. Let's do it. All right, pancakes down. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this treat on there. A little bit of this egg, just smash it down, you know? Be brave, it's a non-stick pan. Go crazy with it. Put some cheese on that thing. Treat yourself. Let's go and flip this guy. Yeah, I can't find my spatula. Oh, guess who found his spatula? There we go. Let's see how this looks. Oh, what? Yep. Okay, you just want to let this pancake cook through, so I might just flip it over for a little bit more. Push on those edges. Second one though. More experience now, and looking very nice and goldeny. Look at that. You can't even tell there's a little treat hiding under this little treat. Oh, wait for it. Ooh! Put in the yum and day yum. Treat food pancakes. What I did is I did a 4 stack, and then I got a little bit of my treat there and my eggs, so you know what's in here. So I stacked it upside down, then right side up, then upside down, then that's the mess up one. Hold up, game changer.
Wow. Try this at home, for real. Thank you for letting me treat you with some treat. Talking Shop Tuesdays, now go treat yourself with some treat.
Tuesday, brought to you by our friends at Pacific Grocers. Wow,
that
you
was
really,
the ultimate treat there.
you brought it though, Bree. I mean, anytime you're baking, and that was like you had the caramelized. You did the whole like sugar.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, good job.
Thanks, you too.
See you next Tuesday. It will be Broughton. All right, 9:32, ladies and gentlemen.
Shaking in my boots.
The one and only Jason Solis.
Well, the one and only IT&E is in the house right now because they have a wonderful loyalty program right now. And we have two of our friends in the KOM News Zoom room to tell us all about it. The very lovely and talented Angela Rosario and the equally excited to get this program because it is now launch day, it being June. Chanel Aggie. Ladies, Hafide, good morning. Oops.
Good morning.
Oops, okay. Oh, Angela, I think I accidentally muted you, La. My bad. I turned off your camera. Yeah. You've known me long enough to know that that's like par for the course and everything. So first of all, now that I've got you both here and everything, congratulations on launching the Pacific Points program and everything like that. We've been featuring the logo here for the past couple of weeks, and I know every time I go into one of the stations, they always ask me, do you know about Pacific Points? So in grand fashion like now, let's tell everybody out there watching on Guam, what is Pacific Points?
Sure, now I'm going to let you do that.
Awesome. So Pacific Points actually launched in December 2020. It's a new loyalty program for IT&E, Shell, and foodies. So it's basically a digital platform. You can sign up online at pacificpoints.com, or you can download our mobile app from the Android or Apple Play Store. All you would need is an email address to get your account going, and then you can earn points for your Shell, your purchases for fuel and foodies items at Shell, and then also paying your bills online at IT&E.
Okay, and because it's IT&E and Shell and foodies, I'm thinking, the points that I can accrue as a happy customer, and I go there all the time. I've actually got some pretty interesting choices as far as what I could redeem. It's not just I fill my car 18 times and here's a nice little keychain. Although those are cool too, or here's a pen. I mean, you guys actually have really valuable stuff that I can exchange for my points, right?
There's a lot that you can do with it. You can use your points at IT&E. You can use them at foodies. You can use them for food, use them for gas, use them to pay your bill. You can also use your points. You can redeem them for miles with the United Mileage Plus program.
So I can actually pay my bill with the points that I give by shopping at any of your outlets already. That is fantastic.
Yep. So one of the things, the reason why we're here too is, one of the things that we just launched on the IT&E side is now our customers have the ability to come in and purchase other items with their points. Prior to today, we launched with the ability to only pay your bills. But now at IT&E, you can use your points to buy accessories, purchase anything in store, use it towards a handset purchase, prepaid card purchase in our stores. So that's a really big thing on our side now for us. And then we've also launched our prepaid loyalty with Pacific Points. Instead of being a postpaid customer only and accruing points, you now can get points when you're a prepaid customer. So every time you load your phone with a prepaid card, you get your Pacific Points. And of course, you can use it to get more load, or you can use it to buy an accessory or buy something at foodies as well.
That is fantastic. I mean, peripherals I am all about because, I don't want to incriminate anybody, ladies, but I'll just say, when Chris is in the room, sometimes I have a tendency, not to see my USB chargers after that. I'm just saying there's a weird coincidence, but so I can totally load up and I can pick up some cables.
Yeah, you can use your points to make other purchases in foodies as well. So if you're familiar with the app, you can go on the app already and there's vouchers that you can already get. So you can already grab the voucher, take it to foodies, redeem it for your hot dog, or you can already pay your bill online with the program. You just go ahead and purchase either $5, $10, $20 credit towards your account, and it'll be applied to your billing the next month.
But yeah, one of the things we wanted to really push today is the ability to pay for your items in store with your Pacific Points. It's a really great program. Of course, it started off as Lucky 7 with Shell, Foodies, IP&E, and then we grew it to, and we migrated it to be Pacific Points, and that's where IP&E came involved, because at first it was only available at IP&E and Foodies, and now we've been able to put together all of our companies in this one really big, great loyalty program. And you can't use it just on Guam, you can use it in Saipan as well.
That is fantastic. So across all of the companies, and if you happen to head up north, you can use it up there too. Or if you're a Saipan customer, I guess if you come down here, come and check us out, you can use that too. That is fantastic. And it's launching today, official. All you have to do is you can sign up online, just go to the website, right? Or
you can go to the website, you can download the app and sign up through the app again. We launched it last year, and because of COVID and everything, it kind of didn't take off as much as we wanted to, but it did. It has a great membership already. It's been really growing, and it's a really great program. To me, I use it. I pay my kids' bill with it. I use it at Foodies all the time. My husband uses it. We fight over who's gonna use their points whenever we go to gas. So it's because I want my points. I want to get my points. I want to use it. Sometimes I put it towards my miles or my bills. So it's a really great program. And again, it started off with Lucky 7, and then we just grew it to expand into more. And now it's Lucky 7, Guam Pacific Points, it's Shell, Foodies, IT&E. And eventually we're going to be growing our partnership.
La, we got to get you back on the podcast network here at KUAM, man. Because like when you and Chubi would have those, like, let's say the agreeing to disagree moments and everything, those were like some of our most viewed videos. People love those things.
I think he started it without me. He doesn't like me taking the
yeah, I'm not getting in the middle of that. I mean, I don't want to be the cause for another disagreement. Let's call it that. So, Charnel, so what else should people know about this? Like, what are some of the more common questions that bubble up about, like eligibility or enrollment or what have you?
Well, signing up is free, and there are no restrictions as far as becoming a member for the Pacific Points program. All you would need to sign up is actually an email address to apply for this program, and it's absolutely free. One of the other better parts of the Pacific Points program is the ability to share your points with other Pacific Points members. So as long as you know your family member's email address, they have an account already established, you're able to send points to them to help them pay for either their IT&E bill, their fuel, or even purchase food at Foodies. So,
do they have to be in the same family or under the same billing plan, or can I give it to like my cousin or my classmate, or I know somebody who just graduated, could I gift it to them?
You can gift it to them. You're just going to be sending their vouchers or also sending points to them. As long as they have a Pacific Points account established already, you can go ahead and share your points to whoever you please. All
right. And then I do want to touch on one thing, because of course, like under all of your own companies under the IT&E and IP&E umbrella, the integration is fantastic. And again, La just said, it's on Guam and Saipan. But I understand there's a little bit of integration with the United Mileage Plus miles, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, so IT&E's always had a loyalty where postpaid customers can get miles for their when they pay their bill, and Lucky 7's always been a partner with United. So when we did launch this, we said we want to keep that for a lot of those customers who still loved, gaining their miles. That was one of the other values of this, is you don't only gain points for our companies, but you can transfer your points to get miles as well.
All right, we need to save money these days. I mean, everybody, if you received your stimulus, if you haven't received your stimulus and everything like that, like it's always smart just to like save money. And the fact that you guys have also made it to transfer, again, like you said, Charnel, like within the family to another consumer who could use it and everything like that. You guys are doing a really good community service. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll give you the final word and everything like that. One final push on why people should enroll in Pacific Points.
Well, we do have an ongoing Pacific Points Ultimate giveaway where you'll be able to earn entries for your Shell and Foodies purchases, as well as paying your IT&E bill. You can earn points for also just creating, or entries by creating your account. And our next drawing is actually on June 5th. June 5th is our next drawing. We are pulling 4 winners that can ultimately win 10,000 Pacific points. Samsung Beats Live or
So that's on
Fuel
Saturday.
and
So you want to get your
certificates.
paperwork in right now. You want to download the app and you want to get enrolled today.
Yes, but that's not, you're also able to, in addition to qualifying for our monthly drawings. So this week Friday, or this week Saturday, June 5th would be our second month drawing. We do have another one on July 5th, and then our ultimate giveaway on July 10th, where we're actually giving even more giveaways or more prizes, up to 100,000 Pacific points. We're also giving away Samsung Galaxy S21s, hundreds of dollars of fuel and foodies gift certificates as well.
All right, outstanding work. So I mean, there are no no hidden commitments or no read the fine print and everything like that. You enroll in this program, you win. It's as simple as that. This is good for you. It's going to help your family, and you're going to save money and get cool stuff. So ladies, thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. And don't forget, you guys should sign up for your Pacific points. Chris, Bree, Jason.
I'm gonna do it.
Everyone.
Well, you know what?
Do it now.
We're gonna go to commercial break, so we can all hit the app store and do it right now. So thanks again, Angela. It's been too long, man. Take care. It's good to see you.
Thanks, guys. I miss you guys.
We miss you too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, and stay tuned, everybody, because when we come back, we are going to talk about a conservation conference that was going out. That is coming up when the link returns right after these.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
KUAM Communications continues our perpetuation of our Chamorro culture, language, and heritage, with features available to our listening and viewing audience, including streaming of Chamorro music 24 hours per day on Isla Digital Radio on KUAM.com and the KUAM News app. Chamorro News Update, weekdays on the link and the KUAM News YouTube channel. Conversations about life in our Chamorro language podcast, Cuentos Tapoco, with Kin Conception, seasonal specials, shows, and other features highlighting the beauty of our language, culture, and history. It's a new era of our continued commitment to our Chamorro heritage. Isla, watch, listen, stream. Viva Isla!
Listen, watch, and learn from the daily Chamorro news updates from KUAM News. Catch them on the link during the 8 o'clock hour, streaming online on Isla Radio, or on the KUAM News YouTube channel for your convenience. Tune in and stay informed, all while preserving our precious culture through the daily use of our native Chamorro language. Chamorro news updates are brought to you by your familia at First Hawaiian Bank.
Looking for TV schedules, upcoming sports, or special presentations, or what you may have missed over the busy week you had? Well, look no further than KUAM Digital Digest. This weekly emailed newsletter puts all kinds of information in the hands of subscribers each and every week. Just subscribe and we will make sure you keep up with your favorites and stay informed and entertained throughout it all. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab, give us your email address, and you are all set. Brought to you in digital partnership with King's Restaurant and Ruby Tuesday Guam. It's the KUAM Digital Digest, your weekly guide to the latest information and best entertainment on the stations and platforms of KUAM.
The world of television is more exciting than ever. Don't miss a minute of special presentations from NBC on KUAM TV 8 or from CBS on KUAM TV 11. Every month, we'll bring you the fun and excitement of award shows and red carpet moments, special series presentations, and other great network programs. Brought to you locally by King's Restaurant, Ruby Tuesday Guam, Bud Light Seltzer, and Docomo Pacific, giving you more reasons to tune in and turn on. Fall in love with TV again with the best from KUAM Communications.
Catch SportsLink on the KUAM News Morning Show, The Link, every Friday to hear about the latest in sports news, game schedules, athlete profiles, and more. SportsLink, brought to you each week by Cure Alkaline Water, airs every Friday across the multimedia platforms of KUAM. Tune into the broadcast on Breeze 93.9 FM on KUAM TV 11, live streaming through the KUAM News Facebook page, or view highlights on YouTube, KUAM News Facebook, and Instagram. SportsLink is hosted by Dave Delgado through KUAM Sports, and he will make sure that everyone knows what is happening on the fields, in the gyms, and everywhere in between.
Here on what continues to be a gorgeous Tuesday morning, and you know what, like as nice as it looks outside our Harmon studios right now, I don't know if it's going to look as nice as the two ladies, and they are rocking some really good virtual backgrounds right now with Joni Kerr and Dr. Haldra Rogers. Ladies, half a day and good morning. Thanks for joining us on The Link.
Glad to be here.
Now, Dr. Rogers, that's actually a shot of Rhoda you were saying during the break, right?
Yeah, from the bird sanctuary.
Very, very lovely.
Gorgeous forest.
Okay, and Joni, you know, you've been on the show. You've been doing, you know, you've come on, to talk about activism, and you were very graciously a guest of ours for political commentary. But you've always used that shot, I noticed, right? And where is that exactly? That wonderful jungle. That's very soothing.
Yeah, this is actually probably, I'm pretty sure it's from the limestone forest in back of GCC, Guam Community College.
Nice.
So just a shot of the canopy there.
Okay. Well, just to talk about, contextualize some of the academics, Dr. Haldra Rogers is an associate professor at, Sabrina, you will love this, at Iowa State University, so go Cyclones. In Ames, well, and especially because your Cyclones beat Sabrina's Oklahoma Sooners very famously last year, so that's why I brought that up. I just wanted to rub that in. Ames is a really nice city, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's a wonderful little town in the middle of Iowa.
So we have a conservation conference coming up, and we want people to get involved because conservation and sustainability and topics like in this space, let's call it, like are very, very popular these days. And there's also a lot of people participating, and not just because I get extra credit or because my friend's doing it. You actually see a groundswell of support of people that really want to understand more and get involved and be part of this very positive movement. So when people participate in this conservation conference, we'll start with Joni, if we could. What's the theme and what are people expected to take away from it?
Well, okay, so this is our 4th annual conference, and this was 2017. We obviously could do it in 2020 because of COVID. The basic premise behind the conference was to share research, work, cultural aspects that are being conducted across the Marianas, so CNMI and Guam, and this is something. I mean, if you would look at our schedule, it's kind of pretty much spread out through research that goes on in Saipan, Luta, and Guam, and maybe Tunian. I'm not sure, but in any case,
the more the merrier.
Yeah, and it's meant to actually to inform the public because a lot of times science is sometimes couched in or presented in ways that might not be understandable or accessible. Just access to these conferences and information is not really there for just the general public. And this conference has always strived to be free and open to the public. Mm-hmm. So it was held at GCC first couple of years, and then in Saipan in 2019. And so just kind of switching back and forth between Guam and Saipan, and so that people could get a flavor for the venues and so on. But this year it had to be all virtual for obvious reasons. But it's kind of a cool experience trying to do this virtually. But we're hoping that I think we've got a really good lineup of talks and events, and we're hoping that people register and enjoy the information that is presented.
Yeah, we're gonna let you bring up like the registration information real soon. I gave you SlideShare access, so you can pop that up whenever you see fit. But Dr. Rogers, what will your contributions to the workshop be?
Yeah, so there's a group of 3 of us. So Joni Kerr, myself, and Anne Marie Gowell, who's a graduate student in my lab at Iowa State and also grew up here on Guam. The 3 of us have been coordinating the conference this year. So that includes everything from building our website, taking in all the abstracts, coming up with the schedule, arranging field trips, and we'll be moderating the conference as well. So lots of little details.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, yeah. I think Dr. Rogers' connection may have froze. So, Joni, if you would, I know you've got some slides to kind of like break down the schedule of events. So,
sure.
If you wouldn't mind sharing, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So the conference will be taking place over a period of 6 days, over 2 weeks. So starting next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the 8th, 9th, the 10th, and the following week on the 15th, 16th, and 17th. So we are going to start out fairly early at 7 a.m. and then the talks will be done by 10:30. But people can register at the website here. This is Marianas Terrestrial Conservation.org. And there's a registration form that people can fill out, and that registration form will give them access. They'll get the Zoom connection, the Zoom link rather, and all kinds of information once they register. Okay. Okay, and this is just the brief, simple schedule for the events, and maybe Haldra can pop in and talk about the schedule a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I think I lost you all for a second there. But yeah, so we start off with a panel on environmental history with Dr. Margie Fallenrue and Mike Gowell, and a speaker also from the CNMI to kind of talk about set the scene for the history of the environmental movement in the Marianas. And then we'll move into some native species conservation talks. Wednesday is all about native birds, both in the CNMI and Guam. And then Thursday, all about invasive species. The next week we have or the week after, we have 2 panels that will be, I think, really dynamic. So one all about conservation and restoration planning efforts in the Marianas. And then on the 16th, a panel on Islandano or Cocos Island. And then we finish it off on the 17th with ecosystem restoration and outreach and education, followed by our award ceremony to honor people who have had a big influence either over their career or in the past year on conservation.
Yeah, I like these kind of agendas like a lot more from conferences, because some people say, they like the more focused, concentrated, when it's just 2 days of, intense, dialogue and discussion, everything. I like the ones that are kind of like spread out maybe over several days, because, it really gives you a chance to like take in and kind of soak in the information, and then, start your own discussions, and then you can even come back and, sometimes the topics take on a life of their own.
Yeah, definitely.
So Joni, unfortunately, we are coming up against the top of the hour. So would you be able to jump to the slide that talks about registration, please, so we can make sure that everybody make sure that they can secure a seat virtually?
Sure. We'll go back up to that. Oops, sorry. I have these other ones prepared. Yeah, there you go. All okay, right, so there's the information again. So register online at the website Marianas Terrestrial Conservation.org. And also a shout out to students and anybody interested in careers in conservation with various federal and local agencies, and or interested in graduate school. There will be mentors and people ready to speak to anybody who wants to inquire about graduate school.
That is great.
And yeah,
gotta get the learning doesn't end just when you finish high school or even when you finish your undergrad. Folks, keep keep pushing. Keep searching for knowledge.
Yes.
Right? Well, ladies, I got to let you go, but thank you so much for your time. And I know we're going to share the link on our website. We're going to put a reporter on this when you guys actually start the conference to give it some more coverage. So thank you very much, and congratulations in advance, and best of luck.
All right. Thank you so much for having us.
All right. Have a wonderful day. We appreciate the time.
That's stuff.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. We have now. Are we going to break, or we got Cover Me? Okay. Yeah, we got our Cover Me artist. I've not done this in about a week and a half, so forgive me. We have...
It's Cover Me, brought to you by Docomo Pacific and our friends at Burger King, where it's drive-through Mondays. Every 10th car gets a free Whopper. So finally a reason to line up in the drive-through. And let's do a Cover Me. Our Cover Me this morning is Taney. It's called Rabbit Holes, right here on the link. Good morning.
Good to be home.
Good job today,
Definitely a
Bree.
treat.
Huh?
Said it was definitely a treat.
Yeah, it was. When he was gone or when he came back?
Speaking of treat, when can we expect batch number 2 of those apple cranberry awesomeness puff pastry amazing treat?
You be nice, and Bree will treat you with some treat. Okay. Good job today, Joe, sir.
Thank you, boss.
Sabrina and Jason, great work. Guys, remember we got your 6 with our primetime newscast. Viewers on KUAM TV, thank you so much. My name is Chris, and this... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No.
This is just Chris.
Yeah, just Chris, that's all. Thanks. Hey! Go ahead.
No, I'm just here just so you know.
No, you know what I always say about that? There's no I in team, but there is an ME.
Yeah.
I know where there's an I.
Percolate on that.
All right, it's 10:01. KUAM TV Land, hasta. Adios!
Bye.